Alright, good. I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't need anything. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Twice. We're a whole 14 years old now. Nobody died the last time we played, which I have a feeling is gonna change this time. I am notoriously bad at decision making, and by Jove, am I good at it? Good at being bad. Sounds like a Jessica Rabbit quote. Well, anyways, welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. In the last 2 years, my father has gotten sick every pollen season, which is right around here. So we're looking for some allergy meds because I have a terrible feeling that at some point he's just gonna die, and I will be very sad. So, welcome. Everyone's grown up. They've gotten a new portrait. Yada yada. We're allowed to explore a bit. I'm allowed to go to the Prozac Plains. Very good stuff. As always, we've got our usual heroic buff every 3 months, so we're still looking at perception. That does stress us out less than usual. I'm wondering if we can hold on to this stress until the festival, but that's around here, and I don't think that's going to happen. But I suppose you never know. All 4 of the reds up to the second bar because we're a little crazy, I guess. We don't care about organization, and then we have bravery. So we're still not really sure what we are. We're getting dragged along by an enemy, but we're also pursuing science. I don't think it works really well to do both of these things. But hopefully, it'll be okay. We haven't done lookout duty before, so let's do it this time. You show up bright and early for muster with the other garrison recruits. It's mostly younger people. The older, more experienced security officers are all posted up for guard duty. Nemesis here, though. Rowdy red hair tied back in a poof. She shoots you a little grin as she falls in formation beside you. You shift from foot to foot awkwardly, not sure where to put your hands. Nem nudges you with her elbow and gestures that you should stand like her with your hands clasped loosely behind your back. You manage that just as Security Chief Rhett comes to speak to the recruits. Good morning, recruits, he calls, his voice cutting through with a still morning air. He pauses, looking at the assembled band of motley youth, and taps his ear. Morning. Well, we'll be working on that. Working in the garrison isn't like other jobs, children. Here, you'll be expected to give 100% every day. If you burn some food in the kitchen or shovel the wrong pile of dirt in geoponics, it's no big deal. But here, it can be a matter of life and death. Life or death. Not just for you, but for everyone in the colony. Loyalty, dedication, self-sacrifice, and honor. These are the soldier's creed. Rhett says, steely-gazed and even. You wonder how many battles he saw on Earth. Just like your mom, he doesn't like to talk about it. It's not a place for half-assed kids to run around and play soldier. Look around awkwardly at the other recruits. Isn't this a little intense for lookout duty? Rhett catches your attention wavering and speaks directly to you, staring you right in the eye. Laziness and ego have no place here, he says. If you slack off and let something slip past you, you could die. Your friends and family could die. This isn't school, he booms. This is real life, real danger. If you blink too long, we're all dead. We're going to take that no-blink challenge extremely seriously. It hurts your eyeballs, but you stare right down until he actually laughs. Well, he cracks a smile anyway. He looks away first. That's the spirit, Solana, clapping you on the shoulder. Don't mean to scare you, kids, but I really do need you to know this isn't a fun little game. You can't sneak your little friends into the watchtower, you can't work on your homework, you can't catch up on sleep. Even though lookout duty seems like an easy job for kids to do keep busy, it's very important, and I need you to take it seriously. Sure thing. 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't do that because it'll turn it into a 4. So, I mean, honestly, like a 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, would a 3 with a red be better? Or would that be better? It would be the exact same. Perception, animals, kudos. Sure thing. I mean, what we're trying to do is be like a observant surveyor. So we have the knowledge and then we have enough to get by outside of there. But I fear we've accidentally turned ourselves into a extremely buff individual. That would just be a travesty. Anyways, let's go back to studying. Empathy would be another one I'd like, but there's not a lot to get empathy from. You know, not a ton. Will give us a lot of kudos, though. Sure, let's go into the tutoring. Still headed off to lunch break when you see Mars and Tan sitting together in the engineering break room. Tan is eating a sandwich while also scrolling her holopalm with it, and Mars is half collapsed on the table, barely holding her head up on her hand. She pouts at Tan. Come on, you said we're going to hang out after lunch, she whines. Aren't you done eating yet? Tan takes a slow, deliberate bite of her sandwich and chews while making eye contact with Mars. It goes from funny to awkward to hilarious as Mars's face falls and he puts her head on the table and groans. Proper mastication is important for digestive health. Tan answers permanently, a smile curling at the corner of her mouth. You can masticate in private, Mars mutters. What are you reading and how is it more important than me? Your best and only friend on the planet. Just something for work. It's really interesting. Didn't know Dr. Instance was so well published. Didn't know she was only 25 when the Strano left Earth. She's practically a prodigy like me. It's absolutely fascinating. We're so lucky to have an accomplished researcher here on Vertumna. Let's read over her shoulder. Bloop. Take a seat at the table and sneak a look at Tanja's screen. You catch a few words: recombination, tissue tropism, RNA, protein sheaths, intrinsic community. Maybe something to do with viruses? From the pictures, possibly also fungi? Without further examination, it's hard to tell. Tanj notices you looking and shuts off her palm, shooting you a cool look. Something to do with the shimmer sickness? Mars wonders aloud. I want to learn about macrophages. Mike, I can't even pronounce it right. I am a poser and a fraud. Startled but pleased. Turns her holopalm back on, tilts it so you can read along. It's dense but interesting, and definitely about viruses that affect fungi. Didn't know you were interested in Instance's older works, Lanasai. Perhaps we could work together to parse the next section? It's particularly challenging. OMG, nerds! You two eggheads, better than you than me, Mars laughs. She graces you with a small, thankful smile. You've been eating for like half an hour, Tanj. Come on. Please, can we go do something fun before rampaging Xeno eat us? We're both too pretty to die of boredom. Tanj smiles. You think I'm pretty, Mars? She asks, seemingly curious. Mars sets her hand on top of Tanja's. The prettiest, she swears, her other hand over her heart. Even prettier than me. Well, I mean, I win the looks department, but I think smart women get, like, extra points. Tanj says, putting her hand on top of Mars's hand and leaning in to fix Mars with an unusually flirtatious expression. Yes, do tell me all about my great beauty, she deadpans. It's all I live for. Mars laughs, tosses her hair over her shoulder, and you turn them out in favor of eating your lunch before you're expected back in engineering. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's gotta be the best one. Lots of reasoning, and no extra empathy because life is pain. That's okay. Oh no. It's pollen season once more. Have mercy. Alright. Flex his biceps. Spot Tangent leaning against the wall outside engineering. She's yawning, rubbing her eyes, and staring off into space. She startles as you walk up. Oh, I was just taking a short break. Yawns are infectious. Join in and yawn too. Stay up all night too? She asks. I don't even remember when I slept last. Might have been a few days ago. 2 days? More like 3, but as I said, I'm tired. Even my enhanced body has limitations. Look at her quizzically. I don't need to sleep as much as other people. It's a genetic, DNA enhancement. Anyways, I guess I should sometimes even forget to do it. I should set myself a reminder. Add to schedule sleeping nightly for 3 hours. That should do it. Alright, let's find you a place to sleep. Tans follows you obediently into the engineering wing. Too tired to protest, you slip into the medbay to grab a blanket and pillow. By the time you return, she's already fallen asleep, curled in an egg chair in the waiting area. You gently place the blanket over her, and she hums happily before going slack with much-needed sleep. Alright, nothing growing. Not good. Do we have things to give you? Yes. But I don't remember what you like. You like flour? Okay. And you like crystals? Yeah. You like everything, really, I think. I'd be surprised if Cal doesn't like anything, to be honest. You really like this. And, I mean, I don't know if you're going to like flowers, actually, but we'll see. Well, you know. Not terrible. Father is 6. Your dad sneezes all the way from engineering. It's explosive, like he's trying to square away predators. Swiping his nose as you approach on a handkerchief blotted with shimmering pink. Lately, he's also surrounded by a fine dusting of pink pollen that clings to him wherever he goes. Keep brushing the glitter off things in your quarters. Gives you a hug, then brushes pollen off your shoulder, laughing self-consciously. You haven't heard him laugh much lately. He's been working hard to try to improve the colony's food supply. Showing signs of malnourishment, too, though your mom is worse. You're worried for both of them. Your dad's skin is shiny in patches. He sees you staring, rubs his hands over his arm. Sparkling dust poofs off him in little clouds. Oh yeah, that's a new symptom. Seems harmless, though. I'm, like, begging you to wear your mask, dude. And hide this beautiful face. Your dad laughs, rubbing his nose. Especially now that it sparkles. He makes a big show of checking his pockets. Huh. Guess I must have left my respirator back in the greenhouse. Why can't he just take care of himself? Your dad sniffles. Gosh, I feel like someone stuffed a whole potato pod up my nose. I can just poke a stick up there and pop fresh potato juice. Ugh, Dad, gross. What? It's true. He follows gaze out to the fields and lands outside the gate. One of the foragers could use an extra hand. Yeah, maybe I'll join them out there tomorrow. Neither of your parents is taking proper care of themselves. They're so stressed out from the poor harvest and low food supplies. They try not to let you see it, but you can tell. Maybe your dad is right. A little seasonal illness is nothing compared to the danger of running out of food. Disagree. There's only so much expertise to go around, honestly. Right, I already did this. Thinking of going out exploring nearby rather than the plains again. But not quite yet. To further your engineering knowledge, you're taking a mini-class with Chief Engineer Instance on the construction and maintenance of your holopalms. These devices are engineered bismuth crystals embedded in your palms when you start school. Use the heat and electric current of the human body to power themselves, talk to each other, and connect to the holonet, Congruence's massive repository of information. You can barely remember life without yours. Holopalms were commonplace by the time the Rotunda Group first formed on Earth, and the square bismuth is grown in the lab. Instance explains. So the physical device itself isn't hard to maintain. The difficulty is in the display and touch interface. She opens her hollow palm, displaying a visible projected screen floating above her palm. As chief engineer, she also has one of the fancier versions that combines with a pair of eyeglasses to superimpose a projection right onto what she sees. The interface relies on plasma voxel generators, which require extremely small components that are impossible to nanoprint. Material will have to be mined from Vertumna itself. Is it possible to hack these devices? Tant raises her hand and asks, if the biological electronic interface is so thin, is it possible to hack the human body? Well, in a way, we've already begun to hack the human body. Instance replies, what do you call gene tech? Everything the body does and is capable of depends on 4 nucleobases in different configurations. It's no different than congruence. Human and artificial intelligences are both built from a limited code and are transformed into more by the building. Genetic enhancement, superhearing insight, temperature regulation, increased resistance to fear, disease, and fatigue, all present in the human genome and unlocked by the power of science. Boy, we have a lot of hooked on our holopalm. Oof, try to remove it. She begins installing a mod that will let her scan inorganic materials and get a reading of their chemical compositions. I'll download my own mod. What module do you use? Radar speed gun. Something to help find lost objects. Bacteria sniffing sensor. She's not going to be impressed if we do a puzzle game, but the puzzle game sounds interesting to me. And we're de-stressed. Pictures to draw by filling in the squares of... Okay, that's Picross. Picross is great. Every once in a while I rediscover Picross and I get addicted for a week. 2, 3, 4, 5... 4. Cool. You're at lunch with your parents, slice soy cakes and watery broth again. Great. When they put down their cutlery and look at each other, then you. So last time, there's something we should tell you. They're trying to shelter you from some things, but we think you should know why we've been working so hard in geoponics. There's a meeting after lunch, and I want you to come with us. Okie dokes. It's going to be miserable. Follow your parents to the council room. Mars is also tagged along. You take a seat near them as your mom and Anna Ann stand to address the council. After Utica officially calls the meeting, she gestures to your mom. I'm not going to mince words, your mom says firmly. All of our efforts to increase food production in geoponics has failed, especially given the failure of the pixie beans. The destruction of the fields during the last attack put the nail in our coffin. By the end of the year, the colony will run out of food. The rest of the council murmurs in concern. You and Mars exchange horrified looks. You've been doomsaying about our food supply for 2 years, Flulu. You mean to say we're past the point of no return? Your mother nods grimly. I'm afraid so. Even with rationing, without securing a Vertumnan food source, our supplies will run out by wet season. She gestures to Anne, whose face is grave. Anne and I have gone over the supplies to come up with food plans. We've crunched the numbers. I'm sorry. Geoponics should have been producing better by now. We should have been able to wean ourselves off of soy rations. During wormhole transit, when we lost geoponics in the hull breach, I know I've said it so many times, but our crops just don't grow here. We needed those algae tanks. We needed the microbial soil from Earth. Yeah, that seems real helpful. I would be defensive of my mother. She's working harder than anyone. Oh, I'm not saying this out loud. Oh, no, that's true. You decide they probably never really blamed her or your dad. The only holdout is Mars, who crosses her arms and grumbles. It's clearly a problem with leadership. So what do we do now? Starving to death isn't an option. No, it isn't. We need to secure a food source this year before our rations run out. We're working double shifts in geoponics, but it's not enough. We need more people planting, tending, turning the soil. We need more hands. I can pull back the surveyors and focus on foraging native plants. Even the young folks can help if they've proven themselves around the survey equipment. I'll send out a holo message later. The valley! The valley is where we think the cure might be. Oh, I guess we've gained the status of starving. Physical skill increases reduced by 1. Alright, don't do that. But my stomach has rumbled ominously. Mid-pollinating. Well, now we're definitely... How long is that going to last? That's just not. Alright. I guess let's go try to find a food source. We unlocked it, though our stress is kind of high. I think we should probably wait. 2 perception and 2 biology. That makes sense. Yeah, I think we're gonna want to wait until a stressful situation has occurred. Life sciences. Oh, Slonicide, do you have a moment? We go on expeditions sometimes, right? At least far more than I do, or whatever, wish to. So, you mind doing me a favor? Depends, what is it? Small thing, really, and I understand it's not terribly dangerous. I just want you to bring me some hop-eye eggs next time you come across nests out there. I would ask Disc, but well... why? For science, obviously. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Just bring me some eggs, or you can tell the chief engineer why you're holding me back. Okay, whatever. Jeez Louise. Quite common if the reports from the foragers are to be believed. They tell me they're commonly find nests in the Valley of Vertigo. Well, we're going there, eventually. It's not right now. Nah, there's no need for this. I'm gonna do like a 4, 5, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6. Oh, actually, we barely made that. Light pollen. I don't think I've said it enough, but the art in this game is real good. Just excellent overall. Evening, Pirate. How you doing? Back to engineering. Do some work with congruence with the construction crew this week, observing how they use congruence in their holoprojectors to plan, build, and repair the colony. Foreign walks out through the projections, literally. Points out... Oh, it's the architecture. Yeah, I've seen that one before. Alright, this card becomes 3. Don't have any gems here. So like a 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of deal. Could have done better there. That's alright. How are you, Pirate? How's life? Burnt early dust. Spot Tan's sitting on a large boulder outside the lab. She's eating a pressed soy bar ration with determination, alternating bites with huge gulps of water to wash it down as quickly as possible. Doing out here. I hit the limit on the number of consecutive hours that allow me to work in the lab, so I'm taking a break, she says, making mocking air quotes around the sentence. You should probably take a break, though. Yeah, -2, whatever. I'm smarter than any 2 of them combined. Ugh. I just want to work, you know? It's so frustrating to be deep in the zone, feeling like I'm just on the precipice of a discovery, and someone tells me apparently my genius is taking too long. I want them to treat me like I belong there, the way Dr. Instance does. She actually respects me. They're just jealous she likes me more. Tane slides off the boulder, and you see the color bleed from her face. She stumbles into you, nearly crumpling to the ground. Oh. She grits it out, leaning over while the dizziness passes. I thought the nutritional uptake of that bar would be quicker than a real meal, especially after taking into account the time required to walk to the cafeteria. Trails off, realizing she's clutching your jacket and pushes you away. My apologies. I am regrettably, it seems, only human. Tan scrubs her hands over her face. Sometimes it feels like I'm a prisoner in my own body. Like I can feel myself trapped in it, the stinking, sweating bag of meat and bad impulses, stuck with the burden of keeping it alive every day for the rest of my life. And do we point out that she's crying, or do we just listen? I feel like she doesn't want that pointed out. Change takes a few seconds to compose herself, blotting her eyes daintily with her knuckles. It's just this resentment for my physical form. It reminds me of when I was little and Instance used the gene tech to give me this body. The right body. Only this body's wrong too, she adds quietly. It's right in a lot of ways, but still imperfect. It's still human. If I were an AI, everything would be more simple. I could just do my work. Just do what I'm good at. No messy biological functions, no emotions, clear and beautiful purpose. I hate this. I hate feeling like this. Just gonna keep flirting with everyone. Everybody. It didn't work! Terrible mistakes. How nice for you, she sneers. You're right. People finding me attractive makes everything all better. Never mind. I wouldn't expect you to understand the pain of being trapped in your own body. She wipes her eyes and straightens her jacket and takes a deep breath and holds it for 10 seconds. Her eyes close. By the time she opens them again, she looks ready to go back to work as if nothing happened. You admire her determination, but sometimes you think it might come at a price. You're good? Off work today and tomorrow. Nice. That's great, actually. That's a nice short week. I could use some of that. Let's look at the more that we've unlocked for Tangent. Right there. Very stoic. Yes. Very intelligent. Yeah. Okay. Just curiously studying a small bleached white animal. Right, the mushrooms. Okay. Nothing new in there. Anything here? Nope. There's a flower. Yeah, I'm jealous. I think we've turned the corner at work in terms of, I think I'm getting out more than I'm putting in right now in terms of progress on my many deadlined reports. But, whew, it is a stressful time. Anything new here, there, anywhere? No. Alright, so we're about to hit maximum stress. But I think the festival happens, which should allow us to squeeze on through. We do a small tutor, which will get us close to 100 kudos. Give us some reasoning, a little bit of empathy. Might actually get us to where we need to be for reasoning. I think about food all the time. Now, I'm hungry. God, I feel like I'm role-playing right now, because I am hungry. 2, 3... no, that works, because 3, 4, 5... Oh, wait, no, because we can do this, and that gives us gem, or 2 gems, and then that makes it a 6, and that's a perfect straight. I think that's going to be, like, maximum. Let's go. Enough reasoning for the second perk. Empathy, 13 kudos. Oh, that was close. It is time for Vertumnalia. Yearly midsummer celebration where the colony gives thanks for its good fortune. Well, it would be, but as you file into the main square, you can't help but notice the feast table is nearly empty. What Anne lacked in resources, she made up with care. The dishes are lovingly plated. Soy cakes glisten, steam rises from buns stuffed with mince. There are great pictures of vegetable broth rendered out from even the most inedible food scraps. There's a neat stack of sugar cubes for dessert. Whole sugar, what a luxury. In an underwhelming feast, that'll be the highlight. Unicorn's welcoming speech is here is short. Her frail body trembles as she welcomes you all to Vertumnalia with a dry, whispery voice, and then has to be helped off stage. Like all of you, she's been feeling the effects of the famine. Participation is for joiners. Are we back on the BS science fair time? Yeah, because we still have negative gains from that. We weren't in the fair last year, but you heard the stories. Tangent did something terribly complicated about cell differentiation in vertumnant species, plant, animal, and fungus alike. She melted down when Dr. Instance pressed her on something, but this year she's all business, back and better than ever. She has not only corrected her error, but added a ton more complexity and depth to her analysis. Instance listens intently and congratulates her on a marvelous comeback. I'm up next. Bonus to straights. That's good, because that's what our pet helps us with, actually. No, we can do like a 2, 3, 4. And like a 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a... Ooh. +2 to cards with gems. Oh, this is... We're not going to get anything with this, are we? Ugh. We got nothing. Yeah, 30 out of 34. That's fine. Studying the early attacks, they only happen during glow, but why? You've been graphing and analyzing surveyor data on the animals and discovered that attacks don't correlate with natural behavior and migration patterns. I thought at first the wormhole might agitate them. It does put off low-frequency waves during glow that haven't yet been fully studied, so a year ago you started monitoring the waves and realized there was actually 2 waveforms, one from the wormhole and a weaker one based somewhere on the planet. During glow, when the vibrations from the wormhole are present, it seems to activate something in the planet's frequency, making it stronger and more complex. These frequencies run right through the colony like targeted beams, drawing animal migrations closer. It's almost as if something is summoning the animals. The judges are amazed. This is a huge breakthrough, and it all happened because you wanted to win a science fair. A lot of work to do to be able to use this theory for forecasting the next attack, but Red is excited to study this further. You win the science fair, hands down. After the festivities, the whole colony takes a few days off for a break, except for geoponics, and the foragers, and the kitchens, and everyone who uses their break from their usual work to help out in places that didn't close. Okay. It's not really a break, but try to take it easy. Anyways. Alright. Into mid-dust. Let's go to the valley. Let's stress ourselves out. Autoplay Fairy sometimes plays the best hand for you. Thanks, Reasoning Autoplay Fairy. I didn't know that was a thing. We're right at 50. Yeah. I'm still thinking of doing a second expedition just nearby, because we saw somebody out there. We just don't know who. I thought it was this. It's not this, so I don't know. Topia greets you warmly as you muster for your first expedition with the foraging team. Slanisai, glad you can make it. We need everyone we can out here right now, boosting our food supplies. I'm ready to sniff out those tasties. Well, good luck hunting out there, she says, handing you an oversized backpack. More like a basket than a pack. Use your hollow palm to identify edible and medicinal plants and just throw them in there. I'll sort them back at base camp. And keep a lookout for creatures. It's pretty peaceful out here in the valley, but a little bug will get you if you're not careful. Go slow. Pay attention to your surroundings. If you're unsure of something, don't approach it. Stay on the path. Don't get lost. We don't call it the Valley of Vertigo for nothing. Boom, bam. There we go. Any questions? I am gonna flirt with everybody. It's a terrible idea. What's a fine lady like you doing in a place like this? Cheeky. You making fun of my accent? Come on, you rascal. Get. Foiled again. I can't believe my 14-year-old charms failed. Probably should save the flirting for, like, when I actually have persuasion and creativity. I'm sure it's fine. Line of termite-like insects crosses the path here. Curious, you follow them to their destination, a massive sponge-like hive of crawling bugs, writhing with life. The bugs are tending to larvae nestled in the holes of the sponge, feeding on the rich royal jelly that oozes from the hive. You step in for a closer look and hear a warning hiss from above. Top hive is queen, whatever it is. Wait, no, she is the hive. Wait, this is a squeezer hive. Her abdomen is swollen and lodged in the ground here, rendering her immobile, but not defenseless. Hive Queen groans and growls at you, and the air prickles with a burning flavor of acid. She must have some sort of defensive acid spray. Jelly looks pretty edible, though. This seems like a bad idea. Let's go do it. +1 red cards. 10 kudos if the oh my lord 79. Okay. 3... $355? Make that 5, do a flush. Okay. +6 if this has the highest value. So we can actually make that 8. But that would remove it. That even would remove it. So maybe not. One, two, three, four. Oh, this is gonna be a lot of stress unless we do something real good. +1 to a card, change the suit there. What is this? That's 3 normally? Okay. Or we just try to absolutely slam through here. No, that's not as good either. That's also 32. I mean, 45 stress there is going to essentially send us spiraling back. That is not a slightly better hand. That's much worse. Autoplay Fairy really let us down. It's literally like a 2, 3... That's the best we got. Okay. Well, I don't want to do that, so we'll push through, and that was the best we could get there. Woof. We milked the squeeger. Get in there, squeeze out some jelly from one of the Hive Queen's many holes. Somehow manage to not get sprayed too badly by her acid. Some lands on your arm and the back of your hand, sizzle briefly, but you keep your calm long enough to escape with your bounty. Got some food. And a good one at that, and we're immediately worn out. Alright, that didn't go well. Did not go well. Nope, not our best work. I do, however, want to train my pet. I feel like I need to not equip the pet to get it. So let's unequip it and relax in the park. Oh, I forgot we had Xenobotany. Oh, we should try that sometime soon. Your mom is tending to her garden as you relax nearby. You're both happy to leave each other alone, but you can hear her muttering to herself as she pulls weeds. Every day. You'd think I was never here at all with how some of these weeds grow. I thought that bringing only nice plants would mean we wouldn't have to weed as much, but these retumnant plants, they're unstoppable. Pulls hard on one weed, which turns out to be just a huge creeping vine that yanks out a few flowers. I just want one place on this planet that's ours. She's more of a physical gal. Let's help her pull weeds. It's surprisingly hard work. By the end, your back and shoulders are aching, the palms of your hands are on fire. Mom dumps a huge armful of weeds in a wheelbarrow. Let's go all the way to the edge of the colony. Whatever plants these roots belong to, they're invading my garden. Stupid pink bastards. Stay out there where you belong. We have a lot of those. We don't need any more. Alright, we've gone into the rainy season, but I continue to plan on doing more exploring. I want him to be more of a surveyor. This might make us like a jack of all trades, master of none, but that's alright. You have some wood. You are welcome. Back to the valley. I think we're gonna need as much as possible to survive this. I'm feeling the stress. Oh my goodness. It's freaky. 1 second. Oh, okay, can't change gear. Freaky are carnivores, you think, but the juveniles are too small to take out anything larger than an insect. Not so much the case with this one. Freaky blocking your path is pretty large, probably about as tall as your waist, since growling at you over the carcass is something even bigger, which seems to be missing its head. Yuck. Not sure if it killed or scavenged that animal, but it's dragged it onto the path, and it looks ready to fight you for it. I'll wait for you to leave. Okay, that didn't go super well. But I don't feel like fighting an animal there. Something on the ground draws your attention. It's oddly lumpy. Let's scope it out. Card becomes red. Alright. +6 if this has the highest value. Well, that's not gonna happen, but we can easily do like a 1, 2, 3. How do you feel about that? 2, 5, 2, 5. What kind of... What are you doing here? Max, we could make that as 3. And then, unless we make that like 4, 5, 6, 7. Which is pretty good, actually. That's not bad. Alright. Honestly, 1 second. I kind of wonder if like a flush is gonna do the trick here. No. Oh, because that doesn't become a flush. So we'd have to do something like that. Okay, so that's enough. We're not gonna get got here. You know what? Honestly, yeah, that's fine. Good enough. It's a potato minefield. Underground, the recent rain has swelled the young melons to bursting. You better watch your step, or you'll end up knee-deep in potato juice. Good news is, they are tasty. Kudos, they're dang heavy. Calorie to weight ratio isn't optimal. Most are too young. Find a ripe one, dig it up, roll it back to the depot. That's cool. That looks man-made. Or animal-made. A bristle slug is rooting. I literally cannot. Around the underbrush, it's like a little porcupine with no legs. Well, little's relative. Comes up to your waist, must be at least 100 kilograms. Seen a few of these up at Geoponics. They're easy to catch, and their spines and berries naturally fall off and are edible. Chewy, renewable source of food. You catch one? Let's just observe it. Let's see what it's rooting around for. Kamikaze, how in the heck are you? You watch it bumble around. It's so cute. It has no legs. Just a scaled belly. It kind of flexes and undulates to get around. Unlike a slug, it isn't slimy at all. Actually, it is pretty darn adorable. This seems weird. That seems unnatural, and it frightens me. Yellow flower. Boss one? Spent some time working in geoponics, so you know your way around a plant or two. Walking through there, you notice something different about it. Bare ground feels bouncy, like a trampoline. The plants look all weirdly stunted. Not a lot can stifle nature here, so honestly it's a little weird. There's no grasses or mosses growing here. Let's unnotice the unusual biodiversity. All the plants in this clearing are oddly stunted, very few. Is this even soil? You kneel and take a closer look. More like a dense moss or coral, maybe. Press a hand to the moist, squashy substance. Smells sweet and starchy like cake. Blankets ground here in a thick sponge-like layer, swallowing up everything it goes. Touches. Gross, but it smells so good. Dig a large chunk of the sponge cake up to bring back to geoponics. Further analysis is needed, but you have a good feeling about this one. Hope so. How is life, Kamikaze? It's great to see you. How goes classes? What's new? Squidly Peterson looks unsure and hides between my legs. No! How dare you? It's attempting to be intimidating. Well, let's intimidate it right back. Card becomes 3. Okay. 3, 4, and 5. That's a straight. Another 3, 4, 5. Two, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's good. And then like a 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. That's a good one. Going good. Class is fine. Arcanite's is having a Rhine Labs event right now. There's an NPC in it that absolutely activates your neurons. It really gives the old Nog a good zap, huh? Now, is that due to their existence or the way they play? The freaky runs up your leg. It's a giant spider thing. It's got weird tentacles in it. Oh, get it off. Urge to dance around and shake it off is almost under control, but you manage to keep it cool. The Riki tastes you with its tentacle feeler legs, but doesn't look interested in causing you harm. Pokes at your backpack, trying to get in, then gives up and scurries off. 80. Alright. Still scavenging. Oh, I am blocked off here. That's fine. A herd of float cow are grazing nearby. You watch them peacefully bob along, occasionally releasing streams of urine or clouds of helium to maintain a steady height. Could try to milk one. If I try to capture one... Well, we already have some of them captured, I think. Don't try to kill one. But that's also a lot. Let's just milk them. Nice. 10 liters of float cow milk. The float cow seems relieved to be milked. It's so light after you finish that it leaps into the air and the rest of the herd follows. They drift off over the treetops like lost balloons. You like to see it. I should go home soon. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, game, but still... I want to keep exploring this area, if I can. You let me through, you do. Oh. I think we found a quest. The hot eye egg. Let's steal some eggs. 9 eggs inside, all packaged up. Let's look at delicate spun glass cocoon. Yoink. Turn to leave and come face to face with an adult Hopeye. Understandably, it looks spitting mad. Drums its powerful foot on the ground in warning, and 4 more pound of the undergrowth start hissing at you. Should have known these sociable little creatures raise their young communally. Let's use animal psychology. You've learned from the Holopedia that two different set of eyes on a Hopeye have different purposes. Large bulging eyes are hardwired for perceiving danger, but their small forward-facing ones are more concerned with finding food. If you're not food and you're not danger, you throw yourself onto your belly and wriggle away, while the Hopeyes stare at you curiously. When you're a safe distance away, they return to poking at their violated nest in confusion. Nice. They're not a playable operator, but they press all the right buttons for me even though they're against you. Send a pic of them on Discord. While you're at it, you should vote on the next weekend game that we'll be playing. It's in a dead heat right now. We should take a look-see. Okay, we fully stressed ourselves out, but here's some Xeno eggs. Where do I vote? In the polls! In the poll channel, where there's polls. Here, I have something for you. Okay, apparently I don't. I definitely stole the Xeno eggs. Or not the Xeno eggs, the Hopeye eggs. What the heckity heck? Or is it just because I need some time off that I can't do that? Alright, back to the park. Hey, Squirt. Do you think it's time to start thinking about what you're going to do when you get older? You look at her in confusion. Isn't she always telling you to stay in school? Maybe give it to her in the engineering lab place? Could be, could be. Gotta think about it sometime, kid. How about you come join your folks on the farm? If you think you're up for it. I'm ready. I've unlocked farming at Geoponics. Your mom claps you on the back. Oof. She's just as strong as she looks. She looks like if she flexes, those metal bracers are gonna bust off. Come see me in Geoponics when you're ready to start. It'll be more fun than wheeling dirt around. I promise. Are you sure? Because it sounds very stressful. You guys are monsters. No, no. Stop voting the tactics game so all 4 are a 4-way tie. You can't do this to me. You... I regret immediately asking you as an agent of chaos. Find Tangent Engineering set down the bag of squelchy goopy Hopeye eggs. Her eyes go wide. You found them! That's wonderful. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten all about my request. Dog, that was... I did this as soon as possible. She reaches for the eggs but stops. Wait, what's that sound? Are they? They are. You hear what cracking sound coming from the bag. You're about to witness the miracle of life Vertumnant style. Let's analyze the process. Pull out your hollow palm, prepare to take notes. Why miss this opportunity? You can Tange watch and wonder as the gel-like shell of the largest Hopeye egg splits like a ripe melon in the sun, spilling out a tiny squirming pink baby and a small puddle of amniotic fluid. Watches the last 2 shells intently, but through the clear egg shells can't see any movement. It's okay. We only need 1. Tiny Hopeye is on its feet. Well, foot. Within minutes, taking cautious little hops from the surface of the lab bench. Magnificent, Tangent says. Keeping the palm-sized Hopeye from falling off the table and expect them to be helpless at birth like kittens or birds, not already moving around like an ungulate. Incredible. I can't wait to study it. Gain 1 less stress. Just 1? It's yours. Perfect. You get a specimen container for it. Oh, you're gonna make me feel bad about that thing? Oh, can't do that to me. Forcing you to make tough decisions, as it was foretold. Y'all are some cruel... I could look at that channel right now, and I'm pulling it up. I can look at it, and I have a quote from Kamikaze specifically saying... Bro, if we get Mark to play Kingdom Hearts 1... I will be ecstatic. End quote. Y'all are some cruel people. And I wouldn't expect anything less. Alright, still starving, which is just great. Collectible, no. 64, 61, 25, 36, 9, 8. Where could I find the food? Oh, you know what? It was probably in the depot. Which, by the way, we need to go look at anyways. We're in starvation. That's cool. That quote was before I realized watching you play turn-based combat games was so fun. You know what? If it ends in a 4-way tie, I'm just gonna play through Engage on Maddening again. And you'll watch me spontaneously combust on stream. And that'll be it. Be all done. Innocent face. Let's see. Plus 20 combat, plus 2. We could use that. Kind of like that. Boop. If we need to get a certain combat threshold, or we feel like we might need one, we could use that. Alright, one more... well, good, because it's a 4-way tie right now. Awesome. Great. Very happy. So happy. Doing great. Alright, we've got more stuff to do here. I feel like repeatedly visiting places might get us more knowledge about our surroundings, but also the fact that starvation is being held over my head for this entire year has me pretty stressed out about foraging. So here we sit. Love you too, Kamikaze. I mean, honestly, you guys are great. Your path is blocked by a mass of 8-legged xenofauna, something between a spider, squid, and a bear. It's in a rage, grunting furiously and bashing itself against trees and rocks at random. You duck and hide, and as it glares in your direction, its breath heaving and dozens of eyes gleaming with madness. It's the same soft pink and purple you recognize from the multi-legged Vriki, but so much larger. Could it be a related species? Its gaze drops from you to your pet Vriki, Squidly Feederson. I'm so glad we named it that. Chinders runs up to it, waving its grasping tentacles. The gigantic creature huffs, leans down to sniff it, its rage forgotten. Well, let's let it sniff our pet. It makes a chuffing noise like a tiger, a bassy, vibrating exhale that ruffles your Vriki's fur. Content it's not going to eat Squidly Feederson, you keep back and let them introduce themselves. Squidly Feederson isn't intimidated in the slightest. You bet it's not. It's the best. In fact, seems totally relaxed in the presence of this hulking beast. They touch tentacles and sniff each other, and your Vriki even curls up in the bigger one's arms for a while. They're just a parent child. Is this another life phase of the Vriki? After a while, it leaves harmlessly. You're happy your little buddy got some social time with their own species. Me too. I wish we'd gotten the stress and then unstressed, but alas. Ooh, that looks interesting. Trippet. It's a tasty plant, kind of. And sort of like an animal too, like a lot of creatures. It kind of defies classification. Well, let's harvest it. The plant shudders. Let's analyze that shudder, shall we? 1 becomes 3. What if I do that? It's still 3. Okay. That makes it hard to do a straight this round, but that's okay. That's okay. We have 1-3 already. Make that a 3. Make that a 3. And then go with 4. That's really obnoxious for straights, actually. I could do like a 1, 2, 3, and then a 5 there. Which leaves us a 29 to get in the last round, which isn't terrible. Because I kind of just plan on doing like a 4, just like a Zerg rush of a swan for each gem on other cards. I mean, that does count. It's ugly. I don't think I'll get any stars out of it. Oh, I did. But hey, it works. This plant's alive and sentient like an animal. It is definitely not happy you're ripping its limbs off. It's hard to tell if it's in pain, but I'd say it's discomfort, really. Well, now that I've learned about it, I'm gonna keep harvesting it. Long, low whistle and realize it's coming out of the trip its holes like a very quiet bagpipe, slowly contracting. I've hit my limit of plant cruelty, I think. Got that, got it here. Another Vriki. Whole swarm of them, mostly just baby ones about the size of your head. They're all massed around a massive tree, scurrying up and down the trunk. When you can see the tree itself under the swarm, you notice it's the same pale pink as the baby Vriki. Its tentacle-like roots meander a fairly large distance before plunging into the ground. When the Vriki see you approach, they get agitated and they look hungry. Definitely hungry, like dozens of hungry grapefruit-sized furry pink spiders. That's the stuff of nightmares. Your pet doesn't seem scared at all. I really wish I had more bravery, because I'm about to fight them, and it'll probably make Squidly very sad, which makes me sad. But we must, or something. 2, 3, 4, pretty easy. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we've got 3, 4, no, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then another 5. Yes, that looks good. Yeah. Good stuff. That wasn't so hard. Smack a couple of them to the ground, rust scuttle up to the bows, and hide there. Puff your chest out bravely, and walk on. I'm sorry, Squidly. It wasn't you. Ooh, it looks like we'll get another encounter. Dense cloud of pollen makes it hard to even see your hand in front of your face. It's a good thing you have a helmet with a filter. It's not perfect, though, and it doesn't help visibility. Let's be patient and look carefully, because we're still looking around for a cure for the shimmer, because our dad is turning more guy and less guy. We don't want that. Pollen cloud eventually shift, giving glimpses of something obstructing the path. Looks like a snap bladder, an infamously territorial predator around these parts. When they're heavily pregnant, they use the pollen fog to pick off their prey. Just avoid that. Grab this. Let's quick do this one first. Yes. You're alone, exploring an unmapped area of the Valley of Vertigo. The pollen is thick here, and your air filter is overworked. Warning light that has been flashing orange for the last 10 minutes. But there are plants here you've never seen before. Flowers with intense rainbow hues and strange lumps of fungal matter which pulse if they're breathing. Breathing. Not breeding. They could be breeding. You never know. You cut some samples. Utopia will totally give you extra kudos for this. The pollen is especially thick up ahead. Everything seems to dance with tiny flecks of reflected light. It's kind of magical. Well, this can't be a trap at all. This seems like where the shimmer is going to be. Push forward into the suffocating pink fog. It's so thick you can only see a few meters ahead. You follow the glimmering towards where it's densest. You come upon a glade filled with what seem to be strange topiaries. They loom out of the glittering fog, each in the shape of an animal. They're all formed of the same spongy, glittering pink substance and dotted with finger-like fungal growths. You're so distracted you almost fall into a large hole in the center of the glade. Let's check for danger. Are these topiaries actually predators waiting for you to get close? You watch them carefully. They're completely still, not breathing. There are no life signs. Good. Virus suit beeps warning. Let's take a sample of the fungus, shall we? Shimmer cure, +1. Very good. Remember helping Tans for extra credit in biology class said the shimmer, seasonal illness affects your dad, is some kind of colonizing fungal growth. Could it be related? Beeps a louder warning. Well, let's keep looking at the topiaries. It's a large dog-sized quadruped which appears to be kneeling. It's far too lifelike. As you get close, you realize with growing revulsion this was once a living creature, now encased or transformed entirely into the sparkling pink fungus. It's dead. The more you think about it, the more you're sure this is related to the ship. You think? Let's look into the hole. Can't be that bad, right? Bottom of the hole is a cave. It slopes down gradually towards the cave floor, only 4 meters below, then disappears underground. You aren't sure how far the cave continues past that point. It's dark down there, obviously, but not silent. There's some kind of strange rhythmic whirring coming farther inside the cave. Oh, this is a bad idea. Oh, this is really bad. We're gonna go in the hole. Make your way down the gentle slope toward the cave. The thick, shimmering pollen makes it hard to see further in your hand. You see 3 glowing vats set into the floor, like neon hot tubes, and an old-fashioned mechanical interface set into the cave wall. The reflecting glow from the vats flickers on the cave ceiling, ghost-like and beautiful. You feel a strong urge. Take your mask off and stay a while. Let's poke at the mechanical interface. Unmasked, you cross the cave and lay your hands on the interface. Feel spongy, almost alive. Oh, God. Instantly, you feel your mind blasted open by everything. All at once, 1,000 pairs of eyes all turn their terrible gaze upon you. Thrown back by the shock, which brings you back to your senses with a snap. The pollen, the sparkling dust feels like tiny knives in your sinuses, a heavy choking pain in your lungs. Why'd you take your mask off? You slap your suit and helmet back on to see its light flashing red, indicating filter overload. You lurch out of the cave and back towards the checkpoint, barely able to breathe. You know you need to get out of here, but a small part of you wants to go back down there to stay in this glade forever. So near the checkpoint, Utopia runs out to help you. You instinctively turn back unthinking, wanting to return to the fog. The strange statues collapse in her arms. Several days later, you wake. You don't remember much. Just a great choking heaviness in your lungs and the world swallowing you up and closing over your head. You have snippets of conscious thought from the last few days, but it's hard to tell if it was a dream or not. Oh no, I've lost 5 toughness. And gained injured. That's fine. You remember Tammy sitting by your bedside, her cool hand on your forehead, but she's dead. That part must have been a dream. Feels like you had a fever once. Hot and sticky, achy all over like you've been boiled alive. You're still terribly weak, and there's a pain in your chest like someone's been sitting on it. Takes all of your energy just to breathe. Your body took a serious hit and may never be quite the same. I'm trying to save my father. Gosh darn it. It's been 3 seasons of heavy food rationing, getting more and more strict as the year dragged on and the fields continued to struggle. Been wasting away, you all have. It's not just the lack of calories, there just aren't enough vitamins and good stuff in the food you are eating. Oh, that's okay, I'm gonna relax this time. Your muscles ache all the time. Sometimes you feel strangely euphoric, filled with inexplicable energy, but often it feels like there are weights tied to your shoulders pulling you down. You're tougher than most, but you still have trouble sleeping despite being tired all the time. Spend the whole day in a dazed fog. It's hard to tell dreams from reality. Last week, you were brushing your teeth when you noticed some of your teeth were wiggling. You brushed and brushed, watched all of your teeth begin to fall out of your mouth, clinking into the sink like pebbles and washing down the drain. Oh, horrified, you started screaming, but only snap out of it, realize you've been staring at yourself in the mirror this whole time, lost in hallucination. Your friends stop working or retreat to their quarters. You lie to each other on the holonet, all saying you're okay, just taking it easy, waiting for the harvest. Well, the harvest came and went. As meager as ever. Your mom still hasn't given up and never rests, never stops working, as much as your dad begs her to. She must be sleeping in geoponics because you hardly ever see her in the family quarters anymore. Where you lie nestled in bed in your cozy fugue. It all seems like far, far too much effort to bother with, but I'm going to help her. I have not gotten any toughness. She never slows down. When the robo-plow finally breaks under the pressure, she doesn't. She's out there even longer, doing everything by hand. Both your parents feel responsible for this famine, but as the head of geoponics, your mom takes it personally. She's been skipping meals, relying on water and pressed soy bar rations, just enough calories to keep a body moving, but not enough to stay healthy. Yet she never lets up working herself to the bone, barely ever sleeping. Increasing sallow-eyed and gaunt. Your dad tried to slow her down, but she's a stubborn woman. If not her, she says, then who? You and dad are in the lounge, slowly slipping on your vegetable broth when there's commotion at the doors. Someone's run in, gasping for breath, yelling for you and your father to come to geoponics. You run over knowing deep in the pit of your stomach that something terrible is happening. When you see the faces of the agriculturalists, mom's people, you know the feeling is real. I spent too much time trying to save my father, and not enough saving my mother. Why? Your dad sees her body first. He lets out a cry like something you've never heard before, a deep, unimaginable pain, dragged up from the darkest part of where fear lives. Your dad falls to his knees beside the frail body of her mother. He pulls her into his arms and sobs, wretched and agonized. Don't even know what to think. Your mom always seemed larger than her body, but seeing her now, there's nothing there. Just a fragile shell. Tell you she didn't even cry out. She just went to her knees, then laid down in the dirt, and that was it. She's gone. Oh, trust me, I'm maximally stressed at all time. I'm always stressed now. Everything is terrible. Yes, I will definitely attend the funeral of my own frickin' mother. Jeez Louise. Like Tammy's funeral, the incinerator room has been cleared and a wreath of flowers placed over the mouth of the organics recycler. They're white as strontia, your mother's favorite flower, carefully carried from Earth in the hopes of flourishing on Vertumna just like you. Why does it do that sometimes? You stand with your father and Aunt Anne. Yudcott and the rest of the council are here as well, including Rhett. You're surprised to see tears rolling down his face. He's such a hard ass in the garrison. Cal is here with all the other agriculturalists. The rest of the colony waits in the canteen to offer their condolences after the service. Yudcott gives the eulogy. As a colony, we share our blessings, she begins solemnly. However, today in sad company, we gather to share the burden of our grief. Fluorescent was born on Earth, but she, more than many of us, exemplified the spirit of our endeavor to bring life to beyond the stars. She bore life, not only in her body, but bringing it forth from the ground she so faithfully attended. The debt we owe to her is the kind that can never be repaid. It is with a deep and unbearable grief we must continue on without her, in awe and respect for her sacrifice, the depth of which was never expected of her, but which she did not expect of anyone else. It is on her strong shoulders that she carries us, still. Yudcott closes the door to the recycler, and the particle disintegrators begin to reclaim the molecules that once formed your mother. Your father squeezes your shoulder, making a small, choked-off noise of pain. As a community, we remember Fluorescent. As a community, we return her body to the soil that nourishes us. In this way, her sacrifice is recognized in the manifest body of the colony. Ceremonies adjourned to the canteen, where a somber wake is held in your mother's memory. There isn't enough food to dull the emotions, and your empty stomach only reminds you of her unfinished work. Your father is the new head of geoponics. In a few hours, he receives your mother's remains so that he can add them to the colony's precious supply of brown soil from Earth. He touches the cool lid of the container, marveling that your mother could fit in such a small box. You don't have to be okay, your dad says quietly. His voice is thick with emotion. I know I'm not. I have to keep going where she left off, but if you can, you should take some time off. I can't! She toiled too hard for you to sit around feeling sorry for yourself while there was work to be done. A few days after the funeral, surveyors returned with an unexpected bounty from the Valley of Vertigo. It's enough to survive for another month, until the new year, maybe, if you keep rationing. The colony will continue to limp along, but without your mother. That was a joke. I actually need to rest because I'm gonna die. Sad days. This whole game is sad days. New perk. Sad. More collectibles. Oh, because of biology. Yeah. That makes sense. And my mom was always going to be right there. And there's so many ways it could go, but it's just, ugh. Sorry about your mom. She was a super hard ass, but she was kind of okay if you didn't have to be around her, I guess. Thanks, Dis. Yeah, I do need some time off after that condolence. Can't believe your mom's gone. She was like super tough. So much cooler than my mom. Alright. Upgrade pet cards via relaxing in the park. I've been trying to do that. I don't want to forget an enemy's loyalty. I want to forget the 0. The roar wakes you. It would wake the dead. Shakes the walls, rumbles through the ship's hull, and makes your heart skip a beat. You're paralyzed by a sudden clench of fear in your gut. Through the porthole window, you hear metal screeching and people shouting. Then another roar, guttural and rumbling like the sound of a mountain collapsing. Something enormous is out there. We shall run out to face it. Alright. Maybe it's a peaceful monster. Oh my god. It has no face. In the place of a face or even a head, its body just unzips. Ugh. Ugh. Revealing a mess of writhing pink tentacles and blinking eyes, pocked with jagged and asymmetrical teeth. It stands on 4 enormously powerful legs, each as wide across as tree trunks. Clinging to its back and its thick slug-like tail are clumps of lichen that glow faintly in the night. The creature is nearly twice the height of the greenhouse. It's standing on top of a flattened one, the wreckage of lattices and plants all around. The flickers of lights from plas rifles and stun-lows light it from underneath, and the stench of ozone is thick in the air. See Nev and her brother Calm darting in and out around its legs with their 10 shocks of red hair. The faceless creature lurches into another greenhouse, oblivious to the soldiers trying to herd it away. The monster left a trail of destruction where it smashed right through the wall. Smaller creatures are pouring in through the gap and heading straight towards Command. Watch helplessly as the hordes of animals storm Command, sneaking through torn away panels and smashing through windows. It's too far away to hear the screams, but Governor Udicott's inside. You have to do something. I'm gonna help my best friend. You run towards Geoponics, picking up a handful of rocks as you cross the barren fields. When Calm sees you, he gestures for you to flee. Get out of here, Selassie. Get yourself killed. Yeah, I mean, I'm literally right here with them, but okay. The interesting thing about this game is it's not even implying, it is teasing that multiple playthroughs are required to see all of the story because you're learning through, like, birth and rebirth. But, woof. Three, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. We might actually survive this. It's a little shocking, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that doesn't become 5, does it? And that doesn't either. But whatever. We won. Apparently that's the best we could have done. Try your hardest, but even with a full force of the defense squad, you barely keep it contained near the farms. You dart in and around the battle, throwing rocks and making noise to keep the abomination's attention. God, that's horrendous. I thought the horror... We were going to do Resident Evil next week, not this week. Resident Evil's next Friday. Tentacles whip around, slapping the ground, knocking into people, picking them up and throwing their helpless bodies like dolls, only to be crushed under the massive trunk-like feet. Fields are littered with bodies of the fallen. Sweat stings your eyes, but you somehow stay on your feet. Others aren't so lucky. Salon watch out! Calm cries out, and you look up just in time to dodge the wet slap of a tentacle, tripping over a body and sprawling to the dirt yourself. Faceless makes a horrible noise from deep within its craw, flecking you with spittle as your guts liquefy from the near miss. Close enough to feel the sick heat radiating off of it. Doesn't have a face, but you realize with horror that it sees you. Zzz. The beam of a plasma rifle arcs over your head, and the faceless roars again, turns its terrible attention to Calm. You scream and uselessly cover your head as it lumbers over you. You scramble to your feet, you see Calm go flying through the air. He lands a few feet away with a sickeningly wet crunch. Nem cries in horror as he runs to Calm's side, but it's too late. His body is bent at an unnatural angle, his eyes open, and his face frozen in stupefied terror. He looks unreal, like a wax mannequin. He's just gone, like that. Nem lets out a primal scream of pain. You can see the thought ignite in her mind. Contorting her face with ugly fury, she stands up to launch herself at the faceless again. You grasp her arm, she yells at you in wordless rage before collapsing to her knees, throwing her body over Calm's and sobbing like the scared teenager she is. You can only stand and watch. You hear a colossal cracking noise and look up to see the faceless stumble towards the stratospheric. With a roar that shakes your very molecules, it loses its balance for the last time. It falls onto the ship. Oh my lord. Metal screams as the ship buckles and gives way. Whole pieces of the quarters wing shear off as your home opens like a tin can, spilling its contents into the square. Strato lurches, then collapses under the creature's weight. The abomination is slain, but as wails of grief join the whimpers of the dying, you have to wonder, at what cost? I mean, who is left? The council calls an all-colony meeting to face the aftermath of the attack. In the oppressive gloom of the glow, you gather near engineering with the other survivors. It's one of the few buildings still standing. The corpse of the faceless still sits in the caved-in wreckage of the stratospheric, spilling its flaccid pink tentacles from the horrible zipper-toothed maw. It's already beginning to stink. Can't forget what I saw. Your mind keeps replaying that terrible moment, the faceless rearing up and obscuring the sky, Nem and her brother looking so small before it. Governor Uticott was killed by the swarm creatures that swarmed command during the attack. In her absence, Seek addresses the colony. Council acknowledges its bravery of the defense squad, citing the heroism and finally taking down the faceless. Geoponics is gone, the greenhouse is destroyed, fields trampled. After a year of suffering, starving, and only barely scraping by, you're not just back to where you started, it's even worse. Everything your mom sacrificed for herself was gone in one night. The entire front half of the stratospheric has been destroyed. The living quarters, the canteen, the garrison, the lounge, even the creche. It's all gone. It's only by some stroke of luck the people hiding in the creche weren't all killed. Seek solemnly reads the names of those who lost their lives. Too many, including Governor Uticott. You all stand for a moment of silence. You feel the weight of loss like a blow to your chest. Nem and her family cry out when they hear her brother Calm's name is called, and their quiet sobbing continues through the silence. Their living quarters destroyed, everyone moves into the engineering wing for shelter. You crowded into the classrooms with other families. They all try to make it seem like a sleepover, but you're all still so shaken. Nem cries about her brother and screams at anyone who tries to comfort her. Eventually you just ignore her grief, as painful as it is to hear her sobbing at night. Dog, I was already in mourning. I can't, double mourning? Second breakfast? You feel like you've been awake for days, you'll never fully sleep again. You try, but keep jerking awake, crying out in fear. Eventually you fall asleep sitting up, held in your father's arms. Your sleep is fitful, but mercifully dreamless. Woo, we're 15! Woo! Boop, 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 boop. Feeling good. Do, 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 do. Guys, remember when we were just researching a cure for my dad? Those were better times. Those were nice times. No real defense left. Bro, this game's brutal. Isn't it, though? I mean, it's great. I mean, the writing is fantastic. And I'm excited to see where we can take it. There's obviously something behind all of this. Our science fair showed that it all seems to be migrating directly on our colony. There's some weird biomechanical stuff to deal with the shimmer. There's a mysterious stranger out in the wilderness that we have been trying to track down and we can't. Just don't understand. Why now? Why does it keep getting worse? Mars crossed her arms. So what's the point of having these kudos? Can't I use them? Mars got to read the room. Gotta read the room. I wonder if we're ever gonna find, like, alien tech. Wouldn't that be cool? This, man. Still gotta read the room. I know it's hard, Gal says, fiddling nervously with a tassel on his shirt, but I just think, what would your mom do right now? She wouldn't complain, that's for sure. Yep, that's because she's dead. But, you know, thanks. Music's really good, though. Hey, Pops. It's been hard to talk to your dad about everything. Losing your mom and losing Colony right after. It's too much to take. Neither of you know what to say. All that's left is here. That's all I can click on. Engineering is crammed with families and what belongings they've salvaged from the destroyed living quarters. You could spend time in your crowded temporary lodging in this classroom or help the adults try to fix things. I mean, I'm stress-free. So... here we go. Oh my god, my organizing might go up. The thing is, I'm still enjoying this game more than I was at the end of Fire Emblem Engage Maddening. So that tells you that I prefer this soul-crushing narrative right now to the, like, diamond cooker, pressure cooker, coal something, coal to diamond, something. The absolute pressure cooker of maddening. The first month of quiet passes, each day plodding, one after another. You still have trouble sleeping in the classroom barracks, but there's nowhere else to go. It's another Finji game. This is the 5th Finji game we've streamed. They publish good shit. This is another one I'd recommend to people, just to play, see what changes you can have on the narrative, because there's a lot you can do, by all accounts. Nowhere else to go. Every day you wake with the others and trying to make the best of it. Grief and anger come in waves, not just for you, but for everyone. Some days are better than others. You're assigned to help rebuild the walls. First part of the month is spent just dragging away the wreckage, sorting it into salvage or recycling. By the time that's done, crews disassembling parts of the stratosphere have delivered enough salvage that you can begin work patching up the walls. A sense of urgency permeates the crew. After everything, people need to feel safe. This is on the work crew with you, something he does begrudgingly. Walls didn't help the first time. You should just tear them all down and live like the animals do. If someone planted a bunch of buildings on my land, I'd be pissed too. It's great, Dis. But sometimes you need to commit to things. Just to, like, move on. By the end of the month, you made noticeable progress. There are other priorities and not a lot of construction material, but when last year's mushwood harvest is done drying out, you'll be able to do more. Even if this is right that didn't help the first time, it's better than nothing. Tangent and Chief Engineer Instance have been hard at work trying to find a cure for the Shimmer disease. You joined them in their research. You're the one who found a sample of the fungus and analyzed it. You're the one whose father suffers the most from it. You confirm that the Shimmer is an airborne fungal disease and the thick choking spores and pollen are the same fungi of the Valley of Vertigo, the ones that colonize the host turn their bodies into more spore-producing fungus. Finally, you have a long-due breakthrough. Sunlight. You try inoculations, antibiotics, antifungal creams, but what finally works is a high-intensity light treatment mimicking the full force of the suns during dusk, coupled with an injection to increase its potency. Of course, Tangent claims, the fungus colonizes animal life during pollen, and some succumb to it, but the intense light of dust scourges the fungus from the survivors. It's all part of the natural cycle. Treatment works on samples. Let's test it on... I don't know if I want to test it on my dad. Let's test it on me. You open a triple-locked research room and pass through an airlock. You don't have the virus suit on, that's the point. You need a strong dose of this fungus in your lungs. The small room is filled with the Shimmer fungus. It's growing on everything. The floor and walls on lumpy shapes that were some kind of biological matter at one point. Now it's all just fungus, violet and shiny. You breathe deeply, marveling in the feeling of soupy, dangerous air infiltrating your body. Tange watches safely from behind the thick plexiglass. You can't tell if she's jealous or impressed. Next, you slide into the light therapy machine to bask in a nice warm light for a while. You even have a nap. Dr. Instance takes your vitals and runs samples of your fluids through various machines. She's excruciatingly thorough, but after a few days, she concludes the treatment is a success. She's still carrying a high fungal load, but its effects have been nullified by the light therapy. Remarkable. Instant says, going over your findings. Now that we have a frontline therapy, we can begin treating the population to prevent the fungus from taking hold. Let's go! That's the only thing I've been happy about in 2 years. She looks over at Tange. So last night's discovery would be of great help with our other research. You expect Tange might be cross you got the credit, but she nods, looking pleased. Just thankful no one else was killed. Not your father, or sorry, no one was killed. Not your father or anyone else. The colony is safe from the Shimmer. Alright. I've done one good thing in this game so far, and that's it. Everything else is just terrible. Just the worst. The suns finally dawn again on your birthday. You wake early and climb to the top of engineering to watch the first sun's watery rays break the horizon as the wormhole recedes across the sky. Dawn should represent hope after a long period of darkness, but this light only reveals the full extent of the damage to the colony. I'm gonna guess that my father would have turned into a fungal, like, all guy, no guy kind of deal. No fun, just guy. Within a year. I don't think we had much more time. So, and I don't think I've had a lot of control over a lot of the things that have been happening. But I could be wrong. But then again, my friend died like 2 months into this game. So, and that didn't seem like I had much chance. Part of this might just be, you must suffer and then learn from the suffering. Very Sith. Very Sith-like. Hard to find. Rest crammed into the classroom with all the other kids and their families, and every time you close your eyes, you shake your head to clear the memories. You pull your blanket more tightly around your shoulders, not your blanket. That one's gone. And stare out as the sun rises on the horizon, meager and sickly. Hey, kiddo. Your dad comes and sits down beside you. I was looking for you. Nice view, huh? At least we got a rooftop patio out of the deal. Laughs a little at his own joke, then sort of trails off with a sigh afterwards. Puts his arm around your shoulders and you sit in silence for a while, watching the sunrise pick out all the broken glass littering the fields, glimmering like a field of stars. Neither of you really know what to say. It's clear your dad feels like he has to give you a pep talk, but there's an impressive nature to the silence that makes it feel impossible for either of you to start. Eventually he just sighs and his shoulders slump. I know things seem pretty bad right now, he says, squinting into the sunrise. Sounds like he's taking all effort not to cry. It'll get better. Has to, right? You're not so sure. I'm not so sure either. At least your mom wasn't here to see this. That's the silver lining, I guess. You watch the sunrise together for a few more minutes. After a bit, your dad musters up a brave smile, pulls out a little box tied with a piece of gardening twine. Happy birthday, my little rutabaga. You know what it is before you open it. Your old medallion, one your dad made with a sun on it to represent Earth, was broken during the attack, and all the chaos you didn't even notice, but your dad did, and made you a new one. It's just like you remembered, a similar design with a wormhole this time to represent Vertumna. +5 to challenges is pretty good. You thank him and squint out of the swirling wormhole still barely visible in the brightening sky. It's so massive and awe-inspiring this time of year, but it always seems to herald disaster. You're happy to watch it fade away into the daylight. What a birthday, huh? Here's hoping they all get better from here. Both head back downstairs to the wreckage of the canteen where they put up temporary roofing with whatever tarps and scraps could be found. The colony nanoprinters, few that still run, have been working day and night to replace the necessities of life, but larger construction projects are going to take time. Aunt Anne has coaxed the kitchen nanoprinters into making soy gruel and pressed bars, life-sustaining but depressing. You and other colonists eat your breakfast in stony silence as you mentally prepare for the day. Chief Administrator Seek has taken over as interim governor until the council can elect someone new. Last week they held a mass funeral for everyone who died. There's talking of turning the Stratospheric's destroyed front half into a memorial shrine after everything useful has been salvaged. There's still so much to do. This is my first time seeing this game. What's it about? It's called I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, with the was taking a lot of dramatic tension into that title, firmly on its shoulders. And that's exactly what we are. We are part of a plan that was sent through a wormhole to colonize Vertumna, which had been scouted as a possible extension for Earth's first space colony, or at least out of galaxy, like exogalactic colony. And essentially part visual novel, shocker. So you get to hear a lot of my annoying and or sultry and or smooth and or grating voice, depending on, there's one of those options in there. There's a ton of measurements related to stuff like friendship with certain characters. They're dead. Certain friendships and that sort of thing. Oh god, there's a lot of people dead in here. Anyways, there's a lot of different stats that you can spec into, which kind of provide you a path forward for a lot of choices. Management of stress and like feelings towards the government. That's your currency that you can buy new cards in. Cards are the other major thing. You can completely skip them if you want to, and just play it as a true visual novel. That's completely fine. But if not, the card game is for most big monthly challenges and exploring out in the wild. You get more point. You have to meet a certain point goal in either 1 or 3 rounds. Big events are 3 rounds. Smaller events are 1. And you have 3 types of memories for 3 types of skills. And straights, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get you extra points alongside the actual point totals that are on here. And flushes get you extra points, which would be like 5 blues or 5 reds or something. And then along with that, there's certain things like gems that count, or -2 to yellow cards, or all these cards become 3, or stuff like that. You have to meet the point total to pass it. You can fail things. We've definitely failed things before. Just look at this embarrassing lesson we had. And another big thing that they've been talking about is that we have deja vu to the point where we remember events that either are about to happen, have happened, or will happen in the future. Some that are in alternate timelines, that sort of thing. I think replaying this game is going to provide a lot of interesting dynamics with changing the future. And some will be good, and some might change the future for the worst, and it's all about learning and surviving in the colony. We've lost a lot of people. It's been rough, but it's a very interesting game, and I think it's well worth your time to play it, or just watch me play it. Because I've really enjoyed the story and everything alongside it. Building the character out as like this surveyor. Enough toughness, but like some brains as well. And plus I got a cute little fungal, like, his name is Squidly Feederson. I mean, anyways, more people who die, the less we have to feed. Think of the positives. That was my mother, but thanks. What point does it all become a Pyrrhic victory, though? Like now. Pretty much now. It was not bad. Every year something attacks, and it's never been terrible. There's been a couple deaths, but it's been doable. And then whatever the heck that Cthulhu monster was horrific, and it frightened. I'm gonna have lots of thoughts about it later. I was frightened. And then like I said, there's more going on in a lot of this. The Shimmer Cure is definitely something that may or may not have happened. Twice into hentai confirmed. Don't start this rumor. Those are allegations I can never outrun. All right. And I legitimately think if we hadn't gotten this before the pollen season happened this year, I think my father would have turned into a mushroom and it ain't the Mushroom Kingdom, so I probably would have broken down at this point, like mentally. So we did stop that. There's other things to find, and we haven't found it. And then I think there's other events that just aren't going to be there until future us has a chance to stop it from happening. Somebody is attacking us or something. There's biomechanical things around this planet that speak of either a current civilization or a past civilization that was here. There's people out there, and there's a lot of stuff to balance. I don't know. I find it really intriguing, and I think it's been worth our while. It's been a nice breath of fresh air. And it's got me back into speaking a bunch, so when we do our Ace Attorney stream and start up case number 10 tomorrow, you know, hopefully my voice won't give out. We've gotten stronger. You're assigned to help out in geoponics. The agriculturists have been hard at work trying to salvage what they can of the ruined fields and the destroyed greenhouses, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Dad has taken over as chief cultivator. Succeeding your mom was already difficult for him, but now there's this. He's never been the kind of guy to hide from hard work, but he's been pretty distant lately. Cal's working in geoponics too, of course. He smiles when he sees you. He's slot aside. There's lots of stuff to do. What do you want to work on? I like animals. Pens only suffered minor damage during the attack. Weirdly, most of the damage seems to have come from inside the pens, if the normally tame animals have been stirred into a frenzy by this frequency that we tracked. Did you ever get more info on the weird person you see the other day? We have not. I'm trying to see if the next... I feel like we need to do another expedition nearby again, because we've gone to 2 of the other zones and we haven't seen hide nor hair of this person. But there's also so much to do. It's all terrible. Tangent's also here, though not trying to help her hammer or nail thing. She's studying the animals, trying to figure out what could have influenced them. She takes blood and hair samples, readings with some sort of complicated brain scanning device. Interesting, is all she says, not explaining her findings to you or Cal. Everyone's worried this will be the final nail in the coffin for your food supply after the famine last year. You try not to think about it too hard, instead focusing on just doing what you can help rebuild. I mean, I've been starving for 8 months, so... Well, that's locked in place. That's kind of annoying. +2 to cards with gems. Okay. Well, that's going to be a 5 then. And another 5. And another 5. And I guess another 4. And we'll do the trick. Yeah, perfect. Nice. You're eating the mess stencil and hear something rumbling. In your bowl and cutlery start rattling. People look around alarmed. Could be another attack. So soon. Begin to hear shouting from outside. Someone's in attempt. There's something falling from the sky. It's on fire. You join the crowd of people leaving your temporary structures to gather in the colony square. People are squinting up into the milky, quiet sunlight, pointing and gesturing wildly. It's impossible to miss the thing hurtling towards you from space. It's like a great big ball of fire coming straight for you. Is this it? Is this the end? After all you've been through, a meteor's going to land in the middle of your already ruined colony and kill you all? Oh. It's another ship. It's another spaceship from Earth. Look. Excitement ripples through the crowd. Could it be? You stare up unbelieving at the rapidly approaching ship. The flames of its entry into the atmosphere dissipate, but a thick column of greasy black smoke trails behind it. Soon you can hear the whistle of it ripping through the atmosphere at terminal velocity. That is not a controlled descent. It's an enormous ship coming at you way too fast. The ship's reverse thrusters fire, trying to slow it down so it doesn't smash into a billion pieces when it hits the planet. Everyone scatters to take cover. You crouch behind some rocks, throw your arms over your head, and squeeze your eyes shut. You hear the massive spaceship touchdown in geoponics. Touchdown. Alright. Plowing through the fields, grinding over what was left of the greenhouses. Come on, man! It grinds along like some roaring monster, cutting a great scar through the colony, kicking up an enormous cloud of dust, and it comes to a creaking, shuddering halt. You and the other colonists carefully crawl out of your hiding places, coughing and rubbing your eyes. The new ship is half buried and obscured by dust, but you can tell it's from Earth. You squint to make out stenciled letters. Heliopause. Why is that familiar to me? Heliopause. The boundary of the heliosphere. Wow. Thank you so much. Essentially, the boundary of from the sun to the earth kind of deal. Huh. Interesting. A hatch opens in the side. Silhouettes begin to emerge. Silhouettes with guns. Soldiers march out of the dust and quickly surround all the remaining colonists. More soldiers form two parallel lines from the ship to the square, their guns in parade rest, and a lone figure strides to the center towards you. Greetings, fugitives of Earth, the man says, spreading his hands wide. Huh? What? A dismayed murmur ripples through the crowd. The adults exchange significant looks. Chief Engineer Instance tries to slip out of the crowd, but she's stopped by the line of soldiers. The man smiles. He's a broad, easygoing smile that doesn't match the threatening aura of his soldiers, nor the smoking ruin of the ship behind him. I am Commander Lum, he says proudly. As captain of the Heliopause, I've come to render aid and bring you to justice. I mean, I'd like to listen this time. Seek steps forward out of the crowd. You're not commander of the Heliopause, they say firmly. Governor Udicott was expecting Commander Morikawa. Everyone was surprised. Udicott's been in communication with the ship? For how long? I am captain of the Heliopause, Lum repeats stubbornly, then adds, according to the chain of command, we sustained significant loss of personnel when we went through the wormhole. You can't help but notice many of the soldiers exchanged looks this time. I wonder how many people had to die before Lum became commander. As commanding officer, I declare this colony to be under our protection. As such, you are now all subject to the laws of Earth. Now, they stammer. There's no need for dramatics. We're a diminished colony, as you see. Governor Udicott died in the most recent attack, and Fluorescent passed away a few months ago. Even Technician Halitosis is gone. Halitosis. What a name. You see, we're quite leaderless. Wait, your mom? One of these Earth cops have wanted from your mom. You notice Chief Engineer Instance being held with her arms behind her back. She glowers at Lum with unbridled hatred. Lum turns to the assembled colonists. Well, why don't we fix that? Say hello to your new governor, he declares. You hear a few gasps of shock and outrage. Lum raises his hands placatingly. Let's not pretend you don't need our help, and we could simply arrest you instead, but there's no need to demoralize your little colony further. Judging from the number of guns on display, you don't think you have a choice in this. No one knows how to react. A new governor from Earth? Nearly 100 new colonists, most of them trained soldiers? What does this mean for the colony? The crowd disperses slowly, and the council members follow Lum back to the Heliopause, presumably to talk about the future of the colony. You hope. Wow. There just are way too many twists and turns. What do I think about these new people? Well, at this point I'm 15, not 10, so I'm not excited to make new friends. It looks like Zap Brannigan from Futurama. Feels like Zap Brannigan. I don't care about sharing this planet, because it wasn't ours to begin with, but they're just going to boss us around. Tangent nods. They don't live here. I don't know what it's like. They're going to just swoop in and act like they're better than us. Hugs her arms around herself. You see what they were doing to Instance? The entire colony, now twice as many of you, sets on working to salvage the wreckage of the Heliopause, tearing it down and combining it with the Stratospheric's remaining engine section. Spirits are high. Are they? It kind of sounds terrible. Though these new colonists from the Heliopause aren't like any people you've ever met before with their uniforms and weapons. They're more like an invading force than a rescue. You aren't sure what this means for the colony. My rebellion score is about to whoop, shoot off to the right. Or for your future. As the dust settles, you rebuild your colony around this new ship, the Heliopause. The new arrivals, soldiers mainly, are aloof at first. Many see you as fugitives. Together you build new walls, living quarters, greenhouses, and a massive bunkered garrison. The Stratos engineering wing is the only reminder of your own colony. Heliopause brought enough rations for another 5 years, as well as a rich seed bank and working hydroponics. Finally, an end to the slow starvation you felt for years. They also have more guns and explosives than you ever seen in your life. Even the ship has guns. A full stomach, a roof over your heads, and the promise of safety convinces most Stratocolonists to accept the Helios. In turn, the Helios decides that you criminals pose little threat. A grudging peace is brokered between the two groups. You decide they aren't so different, really. They're even Helio children, born among the stars just like you. After a month of hard work, you and your dad move into your new quarters and you have your own bedroom for the first time in your life. Place a picture of your mother on the shelves beside your bed. You step out onto your very own balcony to watch the new colony. Its grounds bustling with so many strangers and strange new ideas. Well, we're not starving anymore. You feel something rising in your chest that you haven't felt in some time. Hope. Excitement. What will the new day bring? You better get out there and find out. Well, I'm gonna cautiously step outside. Thank you very much. Alright, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then... Oh, that's a new person. We'll be right back. Let's see what we're looking with. Alright, let's talk to new people, I guess. You've seen Nomi Nomi. I've learned her name. Nomi Nomi. Oh, it's nomination. Got it. They're around your age, barely a meter and a half tall, only coming up to your shoulder. Never seen anyone dressed as strangely as they do. Hi. Their voice is high-pitched and quick. Sorry, they. Sort for nomination, they do a little twirl and bow. They introduce yourself. And then you introduce yourself. And I ask about their outfit. I feel like the first thing that someone does is not ask about their gender. Seems a little weird. Well, this whole thing, designed it myself. A Nomi Nomi original based on the outfit Lavandula Starlifter wears in the third season of Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform, where she has to work undercover as the lead singer of an idol group. They stick their leg out. Only I changed the bottom part, and of course I have to wear my gaming gauntlets. Well, I call them gaming gauntlets, but they're really Envirosuit gloves that I modded so I can play holo games through them. You like games? My favorites are Laser Fable and Dig Dig Digger Dog. Laser Fable is so much more fun now that we can play outside with room to run around. What kind of hollow games does Stroud kids like to play? I don't know, but I'm going to challenge you to a game of Laser Fable right this second. You're on! Let me know if it helps you install it on your HoloPod. Explains rules. It's an augmented reality game where you bounce hologram lasers off real objects nearby. Speed base, you're running around bumping into each other. And our extended house rules about when it's legal to block each other's lasers. Sounds great. So if I do that, does that include this? Oh, interesting. That's kind of cool. No, I think I'm just going to do like a 4... No, that's not going to work either, because that's... Because that card gets +2. Unless I could do like a... This one. Seven, 6, 5, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, like a 7. Wait, why is that out? Oh, because I turned it blue. Yeah, well, whatever. That's fine. Right on, brother. Nomi gives you a high five, and with a couple quick flicks on their gauntlet, gives you kudos for winning. They explain this is how they always play Laser Fable, the kids from the Heliosphere. Except they mostly don't want to play anymore. They said they're too old for it. They just want to be soldiers now. Except Rex. He's still cool. Alright. Is that Rex? Colony's full of new people. Everywhere you look, you see a stranger. It's disorienting after growing up in a closed spaceship and expected to meet any other humans that weren't made here on Vertumna. It is Rex. You bump straight into one of the new people while you're jogging through the colony. Oof. He laughs and holds you steady, brushing the imaginary dust off you and giving you a wide-fanged smile. It's one of the kids from the Heliopause. I think his name is Rex. Hey, what's up? Play it cool. Give him a little nug. You notice he's wiggling his dog ears. They can really move independently. Yes, we have learned Rex's augment. It was not hard to find. Pleased to meet you, I'm Rex. Rex puts his hand against his cheek, looking cute and lost. Hey, since I'm new here, do you think you could help me find the construction yard? Thought I might apply for the job there. Again, we are flirting with everybody. For you, anything. His eyes widen as you wink suggestively and he grins, wiggling his ears and lolling his tongue out like a dog. So adorable. Might just take you up on that, he says. Tell him everything is a bit changed since Heliopause landed. You think the construction yard is still near command. He thanks you for the directions. I have no filter. What do we do with Uticott? Mars muses, sniffling into a tissue. Without a governor, we're totally lawless. What if someone tries to take my stuff? Do we have anything new with the debate here? Nope. And we've lost more friendship. Well, that happens, I suppose. Which one is this? Notice board and stuff. Colony food supply is 30% sufficient. Colony security rating 60% orange. Inoculation against... Council wishes a warm welcome to our new arrivals from Earth and to our new Governor Lum. Instant Stranium. Antecedent. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Utopia. Yeah, okay. Supply depot. Anything new here? Nope. Not even a little bit. Oh, that's new over here, though. That's where geoponics is now. Hey, Pops. I'm glad you're not dead from the shimmer. Even though it hurts, you find yourself wandering over to geoponics. It feels not good to be here, in the place your mom loved and ultimately gave her life to, but not good either. Feels like when you have a bruise and you can't stop yourself from pushing on it, because pain reminds you the injury is real, like your mom dying is this huge invisible wound, and poking at it forces you to feel something instead of just being numb. Your dad is taking time off of work. Your parents worked double and triple shifts during the growing season this year, and now that it's over, it just feels so cruel. When people work hard, they should be able to look back on what they did and feel proud. Instead, there's just this huge gap where your mom should be. Heck, if these guys were in contact, why was the governor not telling us about it? Honestly. Was it not planning? And I guess some of us were criminal. Like, did we steal this? What happened? More. Mysteries on mysteries. You find your dad sitting in your mom's personal garden. It's miraculously starting to grow again, despite being trampled flat during the last attack and neglected during the famine before that. Still, various vertumnant flowers are starting to sprout as well, hardier earth ones like dandelions. Those are not flowers. Pats the bench beside him. Let's talk to him. You false start a few times. It's almost impossible to think of something to say when there's a magnitude of grief between you. He gives you time. Well, it's obvious you want to talk but don't know what to say. He takes your hand and two larger ones. Maybe Earth was a military dictatorship and you were fleeing hippies? Could be. Ever tell you about how your mom and I started dating? Shake your head. You know, they grew up together in the first colony on Earth, but nothing about their relationship. He smiles and looks at the garden as he remembers. I always thought she was too cool for me. Things were, well, people didn't like us much on Earth, so she was always kind of a bruiser. Always ready to pop off even when she was your age. She and Rhett were the same back then. I always thought they were going to end up together. Then your mom got injured when the first colony was attacked. I was working part-time in the clinic, and I guess that's when she realized I liked her. We had to apply to get on the stratospheric. We've only been seeing each other a few weeks, so I was surprised when she said we should apply as a couple. They wanted all kinds of family groups, single people, couples who could have kids or couldn't, triads, quads. Well, we all had to be young, and there weren't many teenagers willing to commit to being, mated pair. Up their chances of being picked. He laughs and scrubs his face with his hands. You want to get off the planet more than anything. I don't think she realized she'd fallen in love with me until we were already in space, he says wryly. Lucky for me, right? There aren't many people like your mom, kiddo. Your dad shakes his head fondly. You nod, surprised to feel a tear trickle down your cheek. There's so much more you don't know about her and what she was like, more than just being your mom. It's really hitting you. She was a person before you knew her, and now you'll never know her like that. There's a past you'll never fully know, just like there's a future she never will. Your dad puts an arm around your shoulders and sits like that for a long, long while. Okay, I have more stuff to talk to you about, though. Hello, my little tomato. Your dad's voice rings out across the fields, hale and hearty. You don't have it in yourself to be embarrassed, not during pollen. Now the memory of him struggling to breathe so fresh in your mind. Come and check on your old man? He teases you. Takes a deep breath, holds it in, lets it out comfortably. I'm doing great. No congestion, no seizing. I definitely don't want to take a hike outside the walls. That's right. He was also talking about wanting to go foraging more and more. The last two... He was just... You know what? He probably was never going to come back. He would just have left at some point. That would be brutal. And you'd find him... Oh... I think I dodged a heck of a bullet. He said, bleeding from 8 more bullet wounds. Dad pulls you in a big hug, ruffling your hair. He smells like sunshine and dirt and sweat. And you've never been happier to breathe it all in. He would have definitely been called to the weird hole. It's true. Proud of you, he says quietly. You can pull off miracles, kiddo. Thanks. Dad's love. Dis, you got anything nice to say? Living is pointless. Okay. Cool. Great. Awesome. Valley, plains nearby. Okay. There's Nem, who's probably gonna really like the laws. Or maybe not. Who knows? Nem doesn't notice you approach. She's focused intently on the document on her hollow palm. Chewing on her nail, she reads through the small print. She jumps when she sees you, looking momentarily guilty. Oh, hey, Celeste. I was just looking over some stuff. Helios have got all these documents you have to sign if you want to... she trails off, biting her lip. I'm going to sign up to join with Helios, but There's a part where if you're under 18, you have to have a parent's permission to sign up as a reservist, and Them looks down at the ground and scuffs her shoe in the dirt. Mom's gonna be so mad, she mumbles. So mad, like she's probably gonna cry. It's this whole stupid thing, and I gotta do it. I gotta do something. Well, for now, I'm just gonna tell you that she'll understand if you explain. I hope so. I'm gonna tell her that if she doesn't let me sign up, I'm just gonna run into battle next time the aliens come along, and well, it'd be better if I knew what I was doing. I'm not gonna get caught off guard again. And then me says, setting her jaw. When they come back, I want to be able to fight them with everything I got. No one else has to die like Calm. Them gestures angrily to dismiss the hollow screen and puts her face in her hands. She crouches down, small, pressing her head against her knees, and takes an anguished breath. Goddamn aliens, she says. Bunch of dumb dinosaur-looking assholes. I mean, she's probably not... You don't have to, though. But she's always just gonna tell her. Take away anyone else. I can see that getting extreme in the future, but it's fine. Sword spawn, look at duty. Okay. I have a bunker. Who's this goob? Oh, God. Fishnets are not a look, friend. He's very handsome, and the missing arm gives him a heroic, battle-scarred vibe. He stands tall and ready for action, even though it's a normal, boring day. The other recruits milling about the garrison give him a wide, respectful berth. He sees you staring, gives you a curt nod. My name is Vase, Lieutenant Olivatius, he says, considering you the glint of challenge in his eye. And you are? How do I introduce yourself? I'm an explorer. Expression doesn't change. Is that right? He says with an air of a boy who's hard to impress. Nice to meet you, Slotisai. I didn't say my name there, but okay. It's been a rough couple of years for the colony. Lucky thing your heliopause came along just in time. Continues. Don't worry, you have some of the best soldiers. The very best. Keep the colony safe. Are you one of those best soldiers? Well, we train as a team, but yes, I've won more than my fair share of zero-G judo matches and virtual riflery tournaments. Even competing against adults. He said. Yeah, I'm not going to flirt with this guy, because I think he's kind of a turd. I bet I could take you. This is untrue. Well, you're welcome to try. Hope to see you at self-defense classes. Hey, you probably won't. I'm just harvesting logs, so... Tange almost doesn't notice you approach. She's staring into the distance, almost she's gone to sleep mode with her eyes open. Gonna wait for her attack to happen, and he freezes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here, have some wood. You're welcome. So 3 new goobs, right? Nomi, Rex, and Vase. And I must have missed somebody. There's probably, because 3. I assume there's a 4th kid. Make it an even 10. But for some reason, I can't find them. Maybe the Woods Weirdo? Could be the Woods Weirdo. You might be right. Who will only now be known as the Woods Weirdo for the rest of time, actually. Okay, back to engineering. Get a second perk in engineering. Sound good? Sounds good. Also, did my doctor get arrested? My person, did they get arrested? I don't know. It's time for my end-of-term project, though. I've partnered with Tange and Nomi to come up with a project that uses everything you've learned about math, physics, computing, robotics, architecture, and astronomy. I know. We should go down the Helio engine room, see if that makes us think of anything. Great idea. It's not a terrible idea, actually. Tange agrees slowly. We can do a comparison of the Helio's superior engine and talk about how Earth technology improved in the years between the stratospheric and heliopause leaving Earth. offense. We also had, like, way better funding than you guys. Nomi explains you head down to the belly of the Helio. No, like, government funding, right? Like, not just dark web stuff, an actual factual space travel budget. People were so mad when you guys left. The world didn't believe the Strato would even make it off the planet. When you did, everyone left behind got super competitive, so our technology is, like, so much better. You and Tange try not to roll your eyes as Nomi chatters away. You split up to take a look at all the different components of the Helio engines, from the cooling system to the nanocell reactors to the complicated banks of computers that all once housed the Helio's much less powerful onboard AI. Helio might be newer, but nothing beats congruence. Leaning in to take a look at some faded warning sign about pacemakers when you hear Nomi yell, oh no, guys, I think I broke it. Help, I'm stuck. What is it this time, Nomi? You and Tange rush over to where Nomi is sprawled in a tangle of cables wrapped around them like a nest of snake bugs. Nomi looks too terrified to move, and for good reason. Every time they do, more wires snap free of their connections and contribute to Nomi's growing distress. The panel behind them beeps in warning. Help me. Afraid to move. What if I turn life support off or something? It's delicate, stressful work, but you and Tange manage to pull Nomi from the disaster. You look down at the jumbled, hopeless tangle with growing fear. You're going to have to rewire everything, and hope you get it right. Great. Actually, that's pretty good. Because I can make that a 9, which is pretty good. I already got the +5 to challenges. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'm like a 3, 4, 5, 6. No, because that 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. Oh, and you can also match numbers. I remember this. Technically, I mean, I could do like 3, 3. Shoot, that won't work either, because that 3, 3, 3, 3. Which leaves us with what, 31? That's not terrible. No 4s for whatever reason, though. Two, 3, 4, 5, or 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Like 2. Oh, well, that actually kind of works. Though, not really, because that has to be 6. And then that doesn't work. Okay. Oh, but that still doesn't work, because that... Is that one better? No. Sure, why not? Alright, we did it. Breathe a sigh of relief, double card to the right. When all the cables are reconnected, everything stops beeping. I know we could do it. And now we know how it all works. Work together on your final project, which is a full schematic of how the Helios engines work. Nomi contributes to some intensely detailed drawings, and Tange makes sure everything is correct. You write up the comparison between the Helio and the less complicated Strato. Congruence looks over your work. Congratulations, you three. It's wonderful work. You officially passed, but there's always more to learn and more to teach others. By the way, she added with a wink. Good work repairing that power array as well. Don't worry, I won't tell. Increased rewards for studying engineering. It's good because I still didn't actually get a perk yet. Oh my god, I still didn't get a perk. I am gonna die. Mid-pollen, eh? Well, I guess let's take a look around for the woods weirdo, shall we? Or... well... no, actually, that's right. So we don't have much in the way of... okay. Now, I want to hit the engineering goal here. And get that second perk there. From there, I don't know. But, I think that's the only way to hit engineering. You're scuttling of metallic legs. What the heck? A strange knee-high robot bursts into your engineering lab, going full tilt on its 6 spidery legs. Slams into a wall hard enough to knock itself down. Seems to be having trouble getting back up again. It's flailing its metal legs around dangerously. Alright, let's fix it. I thank you. I was running diagnostics on a little fella and it broke away and made a run for it. Really need to be somebody. I really need somebody to be my hands here. Everything used to be easier with Hal around. I miss him. Congruence doesn't need to clear her throat, but you get the distinct impression she's simulating it anyway. If you want to come help me in the robotics lab, just come down anytime. Interesting. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that gets us our next perk there. New gadgets in the depot. And new thing from Tangent. Tangent's about to duck back into engineering when you approach. She winches and shields her eyes from the sun. She looks at you miserably and notices her right eye is glowing faintly. It's my new hollow eye implant, Tangent says. This ghostly glow snaps in and out of existence as she blinks. Seem to experience some unaffecting, unpleasant side effects from it, similar to that of an ocular migraine. Instance warned me this level of visual information can be difficult for the human brain to comprehend at first. You're to follow engineering to get her out of the sun. It's similar to a hollow palm, she explains, but with an infinitely large screen because it projects directly into the Oculus. It used to belong to Dr. Instance, but she passed it down to me to help with my work. I'm sure you'll get used to it soon. I know I will. It's only pain. It's more than an implant. Tange continues as we follow her to the MedBay labs. Hollow eyes are on the very forefront of human augmentation. They represent our next steps towards ascending as a species. No more clunky screens, privacy concerns. Elegant integrated design. It observes the motion of my hands, uses it to generate an AR interface for my entire field of vision. It's partly powered by my own metabolism, though the magnets embedded in my skull. It's beautiful. Sure. Nobody else is here. You hear the gentle hum of experiments running in the corner. This kind of technology is so far beyond what we're capable of reproducing in the colony, Tange sighs, rubbing her temple under the implant. Once they're gone, they're gone. Maybe Earth will send a shipment of new ones. Someday, but I expect they've developed something more advanced since we left Earth. So it's more likely they've forgotten about us completely. Brr, brr. The quiet hum of the laboratory is shattered by an alarm. Tange jumps at sudden noise, so tries to I have to get this, she mutters, gesturing in the air to silence the ringing. The simulation I'm running is time sensitive. The specimens require minute changes to their environment every 2 hours. Temperature, humidity, light levels. If we have better automation, this won't be a problem. I can help with your migraine, or I can do it. I mean, I can do it. Yes, you have proven yourself trustworthy in the lab, she says. Experiment 2A on the wall there. Tell me what you see and I will walk you through it. Tanger's assistant. You set the new environmental parameters for our experiment, which seem to involve fungal growth of some kind. It's unfamiliar to you, but you're able to follow Tanger's instructions easily. When you're looking over some of the specimens, you realize that you can make improvements to Tanger's modeling. I don't know if she'd like that. But, no. We're not going to do that. That should buy me 2 more hours. Dan shifts over, wordlessly inviting you to sit down beside her. Her arm is cool to the touch. It rests against yours. Dan turns to you. Thank you for your assistance. Gonna keep flirting. Flirting all the time. Oh no, I've not clicked on the flirtation. Tange gives you a slight smile, barely visible in the faint glow of her hollow eye. People always tell me I should take better care of myself, she says, and they're right, because when other people try to take care of me, they usually get it wrong. Only I know what I need, but you helped. Thank you. Please don't tell Instance that my body's adjusting poorly to the hollow eye. It's only temporary. The stupid flesh person is not allowed to draw the limits of my... Dog, she's going to try to turn herself into an AI. Trying to be the new congruence. It seems like a bad idea, but what do I know? Also, Nem, how you doing? Here, got something for you. It's a piece of wood. You're welcome. She's making the new Borg. Now, there's a good reference. Okay, we hit that on biology. We haven't bonded with Nem in a while. Oh, no, not you. I don't... Damn, you used to live like this? It's a good thing we're here now. At least they don't wear fishnets on my arms. Those are for fish! Don't see no fish. Defense training, perception... bravery and toughness. We are lacking a bit on the bravery situation, and we've kind of gotten untoughed lately. Not sure what to expect when you finally muster the courage to go back to the sports ball pitch after the big attack. Just passing by it reminds me of losing calm. All feels so senseless and uncaring. Chief Red is here to address you all before I get back to practice. You sit on the bleachers next to Nem to hear what he has to say. No one feels the loss of kombucha more than everyone on the sports ball pitch right now. All the ones who knew him best and the ones he loved most. You're not taking in a shaking breath besides you. Comfort her. Kombucha gave his life in the hope that people of this colony could one day live in peace. You honor his memory by being here today to continue to play the game he loved. From now on, I'll coach sports ball. Wow. Okay. You're not calm, she yells. You'll never be as good as him. He's dead because of you. Woof. The audacity. Rhett only looks sad, holding his hands out for silence. Calm death affects us all, he says. I feel your pain, because it's mine as well. Let's turn that energy to the field, okay? You wouldn't want to stop playing sports ball, because I had. No one feels up to forming teams and playing against each other, so you just work on skills today. Your heart's not in it, neither is Nem's. During water break, she sits by herself and doesn't want to talk to anyone. This is a big bummer. I even specifically helped them, too. Brutal. That's fine. Into dust. Present. Here's crystal cluster? Alright, you like crystal clusters. Seemed like someone who would be distracted by shiny things. This is gonna... Is this... Wait, you want hugs? Hugs incoming. Tactical hug. He smells warm and a little spicy. Spicy. Am I just treating this person? I'm just gonna keep coming in for hugs. Oh no, we've got caught in an infinite hug loop. I'm gonna give him a stick. Is this wrong? No, he really likes it. Okay. No, kind of adorable. Oh, yeah. I like 2 of the 3 newcomers. That's a pretty good hit rate, I would say. Just the person I was hoping to see. You want to get your hands dirty? Well, more dirty. The survey teams are bringing in a ton of animals we are working on domesticating. We could use your help. You already know you're way around the shovel, so I figured you wouldn't mind stopping by sometimes, giving your old man a hand, he says, pointing towards the animal paddocks. Cal is helping out too, so you have a friend to work with, and if you're ever having to be out with the survey teams, keep an eye out for more animals to bring home. Sure thing. Great, see you there. Alright. We haven't unlocked a new expedition, right? However, I think we're going to do an explore nearby. It's got the ears and the mannerisms. Oh, God. No comment. Yeah, but yes, he does have the tail too, you're correct. Utopia is working near the gates. This area has been deemed safe enough for kids to go for a hike, as long as you're back before dark and never go out during glow. A lot to see out here, she says. Logging camp, few fields, nice lookouts. Been out here before, but that was when you weren't supposed to, so you'll let her give her advice anyway. Keep your eyes peeled for useful things, like that mushwood log. Lumber carry must have dropped it. It's fairly safe out there, but that don't mean totally safe. Don't go too far, and if you see anything that scares you, run like heck and make a noise. A lot of noise. Ton of noise. She helps tighten the straps to your backpack. What you hoping to see out there, sweets? I'm just checking things out. Right on, right on. Spoken like a true explorer. Keep your eyes and ears open. You might learn something. Things go pretty wild out there. If you've picked a place clean, give it a year. That'll look like you never there at all. Ain't that the truth? There isn't a cloud in the sky, but yet it's started to rain. Can't tell where it's coming from, or whether it's even water, given the planet's full of surprises. It's probably some animal migration or airborne tree sap. Who knows? You have a strong desire to not be out in it. Okay, let's find something to use as an umbrella. Somehow that has stressed me out. Alas. Come across a cluster of mush trees. They're not fully grown, but they're still pretty big. Might be good to harvest them before they get all gross and mushy during the rainy season. Nah, I'm just gonna give them a friendly pat. Pat, pat. Right, it's the weird camouflage starfish on the tree. We have seen that before. Are these the same events completely? I cannot tell. The buck hides interesting bugs and other treasure for those willing to put their hands down the right holes. Are you? All the time, yeah. Let's look closer. I've stuck my hands down enough holes to know this one's probably safe. Alright. Sweet! Literally, it's full of sugar bugs. Palm-sized ball of squish exude a sweet syrup when you tickle them. Great! Human interaction is stressful? That's fair, actually. You know? You make a compelling argument. I thought I was able to, like, cross over here last time. Not the case anymore. Has it changed up a little? I guess it has. Though I don't think it's completely randomized. It's just different. Usually we could get, like, a big stress relief thing. I will milk the float cow, as they are upside down and need to be milked. It's hard to milk a float cow that's upside down. She struggles and kicks her legs at you, as you try to flip her over long enough to get to the udders, but thanks to a combination of might and empathy, you manage to calm her down. She's still sick. Milk's supposed to collect in her lower udder, not her gas bladder. Well, at least she's balanced out now and has a chance to get well on her own. Oh no, I've exhausted myself. But I think we're getting unstressed by the festival, if the festival is actually happy this time. First of all, festival is a welcome day of normalcy in an otherwise chaotic year. Despite some lingering rivalry between the two factions, Vertimnali is a chance for Helios and Stratos to come together and appreciate the bounty of the planet. At least that's what the adults say. As Governor Lum takes the stage to address the colony, you can't help but notice the crowd has segregated itself according to their ship of origin. Rex shoots you away from over the Stratos side, and Nomi makes a silly face. Vase is surrounded by other young soldiers, all looking sharp in their heliopause uniforms. With them standing beside you, you wonder if the two ships will ever feel like one colony. Fanfare plays over the square's announcement system. Lum's honor guard do a complex drill with their drone rifles. Greetings, people of Vertumna, Lum says, his voice ringing out over the square. We may be far from our beautiful Earth, but we can still celebrate and be thankful for what we have here. We've worked hard to save this beleaguered little colony from the brink of destruction and should be proud of our work. The Helios cheer. Your side of the square is more quiet. Now, some of you have been asking, Lum, how are you going to do it all by yourself? How are you going to run the colony, solve everyone's problems, turn this planet into paradise, and look this good? This man is just Zap Brannigan. Lum strikes a pose to a smattering of polite applause. Well, I have the answer for you. The old council made a lot of bad choices, like illegally leaving Earth, but I believe in second chances, so I've appointed the original department heads to my own council, Lum's Council 2.0. Better not disappoint me. He laughs and makes finger guns at department heads at the foot of his podium. Stay on your toes, Stratos. I also want to promise everyone here today we're going to make Vertumna safe for humans. Next time those bastard Xenos attack, we're going to blow them to so many little pieces there won't be enough left to wipe our boots. We've already got the defenses, gesturing at the new, taller, thicker walls, and we're building homes for everyone, homes where people can raise children again, knowing that our military men and women are keeping us safe. Big cheers from both sides this time. Some of the colonists around you have tears in their eyes, even. Especially those who lost family in the last attack. Lum goes on for a while, lionizing the Heliopause's military strength and casting subtle digs at your failed colony experiment. Finally, the crowd disperses to set up the square for the afternoon festivities, some traditional, some new. Feel him having an accident may be good for the colony. Maybe. At the tables, Antan and the kids are setting out the spread for dinner. There's an unimaginable amount of food thanks to the Heliopause's huge ration surplus and the piles upon piles of xenommeat from hunting parties for those who can stomach it. Anne is all smiles, going to make an effort to move on as Lum mandated, despite still mourning her lost son Calm. Not even the festive atmosphere can force a smile onto Nem's face. Party time! That didn't go well. Well, oh man, there's trivia now? That's pretty exciting. Bro, can we shove him into the spore room? Yeah, we can do that. Sure. Instance too busy to organize a science fair, so you do a Helio tradition instead. Trivia night hosted by Congruence. I missed the science fair, but I've been memorizing facts to prepare. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll invite him on a trip out to the Valley of Vertigo, and we'll go up to the tippy top and just whoosh. Be like, hey, don't worry, we inoculated you. But we didn't. I don't think we're gonna win this time. The difficulty has reset and is hard. Well, actually, one second. I can do something like this, and then we toss the bobber fruit on there. Oh my god, I've done something terribly wrong. Because it gave +1 plus that. Okay, well, in that case. There we go. 7, 6, 5, 4. That doesn't work, does it? Because that'll make it 2. That'll make it also 5. Well, we could do that. 5 and then 4. That seems good. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, got too close to the weird tentacle cat mushroom things. And we wear our masks because we're not as strong or handsome as him. That, you know, you guys are a little frightening in terms of a little too good at that. I'm scared of your persuasion and planning. It's pretty good. 40 out of 43. Get most of the questions right. All that studying and watching holovids definitely paid off. Nomi shrugs off their loss. Tange tries to, but she can tell she's actually kind of ticked off. She didn't win. After the festivities, the mood is a lot lighter. People smiling easier and often see mixed groups of Helios and Stratos socializing together. Feels like the first time people have actually let themselves relax. And we de-stressed ourselves just enough to go on another exploration. Without actually having to relax. Life hack. It works best, yeah, because you appeal to both his ego. It's perfect. Yeah, this is different. It's one single path. Everyone's settled, that's when crap hits the fan. Yeah, it feels like... Well, it's always glow, that's when people hit the fan. Walk through the dust, I guess. It's easy, so... I don't know, do like 3, 3, 3, and then like next round, and you know, like 4, 4, 4, 4. Except that's gonna be 6. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We already hit the goal like way before this. We, -1 to... Ugh. That's not great. Where's the de-stressing events? Well, let's jump over the nearby pond, I guess. Three, 2, 4, and then 8. Oh wait, 1 second. 16. I bravely fall in and get wet. Okay, well, we are... Gosh darn it. This has been brutal. Let's just relax. Stop for lunch eating an earth treat grown from greenhouses. A watermelon. Nice and sweet, like a more solid potato pod. Just relax. De-stress. Good, good. Keep on exploring. Nice work, nice work. Oh. I don't even see how we get down there, but whatever. Let's do this. You hear a sad, hiccuping sound and follow it to a sick Hopeye. It's hunched down low, its foot completely nestled under its body, shivering uncontrollably. Poke it with a stick. I'm gonna try to take it. I'm just gonna start taking pets, now that I know I can. And like, again, I can basically just do whatever. Hisses and tries to bite you. Doesn't want to be touched. You throw your jacket over it and carefully pick it up, put it in your pack. You crack the zipper a bit to give it some fresh air. Dad helps make a little nest for it in an empty part of the geoponics barns. Every day you bring it food and water and gradually nurse it back to health. Cal takes an active interest in the recuperation. Utopia says the Hopeyes don't really have a gender. Maybe she said they're both, and they're really social. So what are you gonna name them? I mean, what was our last name? It was Squiggly Feederton? Mrs. Hoppington is the same genre. So let's do that. Mrs. Hoppington plucks the fruit from Cal's hand, hops into your lap to snuggle down and nibble on it. Cal snaps a photo with hollow palm and shares it, captioning it, "Friends for Life." Apparently that means I spent the month exploring. I didn't want to do that, but I guess we did. And did not actually explore anything there. but it was real cute. So I think I've decided I'm okay with it. Here's some wood or an egg. Here's an egg. Actually, really does like the egg. Forgot about that. I gotta stay friends with an enemy. She's my bestest bud. Anyways, here's some wood. Find Nomi Nomi in the lounge, flanked by 2 holoscreens doodling a sketchbook with real paper. One holoscreen is playing an animated kids show, while the other is a wall of text. Looks like it might be a translation guide. Their attention moves between the 3 easily. When they see you, they jump and quickly close their holoscreen, sitting up straight and clutching their sketchbook to their chest. Oh, hi, Solonas, man. How you doing? Believe it or not, it's okay. You can watch cartoons here. Good, because I really like cartoons. Me too. Nomi sets their sketchbook aside and looks around conspiratorially. Thought you were gonna bust me for jailbreaking my holopad, they say. All Helio kids have restrictions on what we can watch and for how long, but you guys have so many more cartoons than we had. First season of Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform. What? I love Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform. Really? It's the best cartoon ever made. What else has schoolgirls who look like aircraft from the waist down? Oh. Battling evil aliens while dealing with the stresses of high school life. You have to agree, you're pretty fond of the arc in the 3rd season where Kamiya and Otoko disagreed about whether Haruka could truly be considered a hyperjet if she was part helicopter. Ooh. The Helio Media Archive only had season 2 through 9 and only 3 of the OVAs. Can't believe in the 4th OVA, Flight Captain Yumiko gets captured by the aliens and brainwashed thinking she's been an alien sleeper agent the whole time. You haven't seen the 1st season? Spaceship kids make do? Nomi shrugs and pokes one finger into their cheek. You have to know everything about something you like in order to call yourself a fan, Nomi continues. Just liking it with all your heart is good enough. Extra wild? That's cool. I need to ask what kind of aircraft you would be, but I don't have enough empathy. I was drawing some fan art for the show, they say. Well, it's kind of fan art. Okay, it's really more like if I was a character in Hypergirl Turbojet Transform. Looks good. Keep at it. Oh, thanks a lot, Sai. Nomi says, shooting you a stunning smile. I will, for sure. Oh man, they're gonna die horrifically. I hope not, though. Wait, no, that's not my pet. No, oh, bring back my other one. How dare you? But also put that Sun Medallion in there. Oh, I can put both of them? Never mind. Life is great. Who died? My mom? Never heard of her. I've got 2 cute pets. It's all good. All good around here. This is a terrible idea, but I want to make sure that we're done exploring nearby, because it felt like we got tossed somewhere we didn't feel like we could be. And I mean, last time I remember we were allowed to like go through the fields, but now not so much. It's just that. If so, this will be a waste, but it is what it is. Because, I mean, I saw other things out there. So how do I do that, you know? There was a path? Zip, 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 zip. Probably... Ah, of course. Alright, makes sense. What? Let's do it. Let's be as quiet as possible. Thank you, Pirate. Thank you, thank you. Two, three, four, 9. Yeah. I mean, sometimes we don't really need to figure out what we're gonna do, right? We can just toss it down. It's good enough. Yep. Huge meal. Oh, we got unstressed. Life is good. Oh no, that was all we had. Awkward. Well, no sign of the mysterious stranger then. Maybe we had to sneak out earlier. You know? Well, we were friendly with this at least a little bit. Anything new? Yes. My father would like to talk to me. Hello, father. You move deeper because they're logging there now? Could be, yeah. You overhear your dad talking to one another. One of the other cultivators seems to be upset about something to do with the new governor and people from the heliopause. When the other woman leaves, you had a chance to ask some of the burning questions you have. Maybe they're in the plains again. Maybe we try that next time. Why did the Helios know about Mom? You overheard us, eh, kiddo? Dad looks startled and tries to muster a friendly smile. Listen, Solanasai. He hesitates, looks around nervously, as if afraid you're being watched. You're just gonna have to trust us adults on this one. There are things you're too young to understand. I mean, I'm not too young. I thought the same about myself once. My dad says gravely. I was wrong. Helios came here just like us, looking for a better life. Some of them had other reasons too, but now that they're here, we have to learn to work together. Your mother and I were young on Earth. We learned a hard lesson. We learned a lot of hard lessons. Gives a grim smile. One, that it was safer to be led by one dangerous person than be attacked by an army of them. Lets that sink in. Another was that sometimes when adults tell you not to worry, you should listen to them. Go on, enjoy your youth. Get to know some of the new kids. I'm sure you'll find they're a lot like you. Before you can say another word, your dad is called back to work. There's still so much to be done to rebuild the farms and geoponics greenhouses. Maybe you can see people, and you can see people from the Helio helping him. Maybe they aren't all that bad. Sorry, we're gonna paint with a broad stroke. They're all terrible. Except for 2 of them. Here's another Xeno egg, because we know you like them. Engineering, biology, reasoning. Perception is almost there. I think if we go on watch this month, that does perception. Yeah, and animals too. You're peering through your holoculars when some movement catches your eye, small and pink and moving fast, bent low to the ground. Too far to tell what it is, but you track it as it approaches the wall, and then, oh, it disappears, but it comes up the other side. It's inside the colony. Your pet Vriki senses your concern, takes off towards the intruder, chittering noisily. I will follow my pet. You follow Squidly Feederson to the base of the wall where they're waiting for you to catch up. They seem to be tasting the wall and the ground with their front suckers as if you've seen them do sometimes. You follow along the wall to some boulders. Squidly Feederson stops at a hole between some rocks and tastes around it and slinks in. There's a kerfuffle, and 2 Vriki come shooting out of the hole. Squidly Feederson chitters and chases the stranger around the boulder field, but playfully? They pause and touch noses. What nose? Then they both leap into the air in joy and start the chase again. They scurry crab-like up the wall as you run to the nearest ladder to follow. Back over the wall, down the other side they go, up an gnarlwood tree into the jungle. For a few minutes, just watch from the wall, unsure of what to do. Then Squidly comes bounding back from the tree and back up the wall towards you. They pant and look up with an enormous smile on their bug-like face, and then stare back out into the jungle where the other Vriki peeks curiously from under the gnarlwood's mushroom cap. They're friends, I guess? At least Strange Vriki is back out there on the right side of the wall again. Cute. Possibly sickeningly so. Card gets +2. So we want like a 7. For some reason, I thought that would do more. 7, 6, 5. 4. That's pretty good. Those don't have to be on their faces. Ah. You make a compelling point, and I will check my xenophobia at the door for these xenos. Alright. Double on perception, which works really well with our build of what we've been working on. Of an explorer. Collectibles respawn, more slots are filled. Okay, that's fine. Anything else this month? Yes, no, maybe so. We haven't done a lot in here. Check the depot for stuff you unlocked. We shall do that next month. You make xenobotany, biology and organizing, animals and empathy. I like that. Let us tend the animals. Meet your dad by the animal pens, fresh and ready for your first day at your new job. Your dad laughs at your clean clothes and scrub face. Oh, Popkin, I'm sorry to tell you, you're a little overdressed for the position. He chuckles. You're going to get dirtier than all heck today. Go on, put these overalls on. Let's get to work. Change and follow your dad to the float cow pens. He rubs their noses as he points out their names. I know they're cute, but these ladies aren't pets. They're livestock, and more than that, they're not really domesticated like our animals back on Earth. They're more like tame. Give all the animals lots of room to roam, and we feed them well. They're not going to get chased down and get eaten by bigger animals, and we help them if they're sick. It's a pretty good deal, I think, but they're still pretty wild. You gotta be careful with them. He leans his elbows on the fence. We're pretty lucky that Vertumna has herd animals. Makes it a little easier. Probably have real domestic animals in a couple 100 years. Well, kiddo, we got all these animals. What do you want to learn about first? Weird bristle slugs. They're very cuddly. They're not really berries, but they're more like eggs. Well, they're like berries, though, because they're sweet. You know? Never mind. Animals here are pretty weird. Float cows. They're beautiful, aren't they? Pretty gross, though. You don't want to know where they make their milk, but I'll give you a hint. It's not dairy. It's not any weirder than when people used to drink cow's milk. I mean, who's the first guy who decided to do that? Figured out if we feed them what they've been eating during pollen, they keep making milk year-round. Makes them heavy enough they don't float away. Otherwise, we'll have to keep them on leads like balloons. The sugar bugs. They're sugar bugs. No joke, we thought these guys were just plants for the first couple of years. Transplanted them from the wilds, but I guess that was just part of their life cycle. Turns out they're sentient and can move around and stuff. Moved them out of the greenhouse into the barns, but we don't really treat them differently. They mostly just sit there. Let's get started. Alright, I have to get mucking. Disgusting. 8. Or maybe we do like a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something like that. Nope. It's better to do the 8. Well, live and learn. Alright, Depot. You are hundo correct, because we did unlock the stuff by getting the second engineering perk. Supply Depot. Plus 10 reasoning, plus 2 to all blue flushes. That's pretty cool. Plus 5 reasoning, plus 15 to all skills. Plus 30 engineering, first collectible use is free. All blue card values become wild. Alright, well, don't have enough to buy that yet. Let's do xenobiology next, because I don't think we ever did that. Like, not even with our mom, which was probably a mistake. Xenobotany. That introduces you to the little lab they have set up in one of the greenhouses. It's incredible. We're surrounded by alien flora, and we know practically nothing about any of it. What's edible? What's medicine? What can we make fibers with, or build with, or use in ways we haven't thought of yet? You and me, we're going to find out, my little potato. He beams at you. Your dad directs you to a research bench, and here's where you'll be working. The bench is buried under samples and beakers and weird-looking alien sprouts. More than just a simple table. The analysis bench is covered with buttons and little holes you can put things into. Carefully find the on switch. There is no on switch. Yep, you looked everywhere. Let's stick something in a hole. You put one of the seedlings into the small slot in the table. Little door slides shut and reopens. A loud brrr noise startles you. Oh no, you broke it! Dad laughs. Nah, just kidding. You're fine. Good instincts, kiddo. Alright, random button time. Yo, 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 kiddo. It's congruence. The friendly ship's computer beams at you from her own holoscreen set into the bench. Of course she's here. She's guardian of all knowledge in the colony after all. You wonder who she got the yo-yo-yo from. Dad laughs. Don't tell anyone, but congruence is the real brains of the operation. He confesses, though it's not like it's a secret. So make sure we don't do anything super dangerous. Which means you and I get to focus on experimentation. If you follow the rules and stick to what you already know, you won't learn anything new, so don't be afraid to try stuff. Does he always call you crops as nicknames? 110%. We've been Watato, Rutabaga, Pumpkin, Orange, or something. We've been about 6 different things. Is it a cute nickname, or is it a subtle hint? Tomato. That's another one. Is it a subtle hint that we were grown in a lab? And we're part plant, just like all the Vertumnans? Probably not. But maybe. You never know. Ugh. I got organized. Disgusting. Ugh. Alright, well, it's glow time, which is the worst time of the year. Though I expect things are going to go swimmingly, and then that's going to allow the colony to put a little more pressure and reliance on the military part, which I don't like. I do not like that very much. This just chilling. Let's go dare him to go into a restricted area. God, Dis, you are so depressing. Dare Dis to explore the creepiest, darkest part of engineering. Deep down where even Chief Engineer Instance never goes. Onto the recycling room where they say there are ghosts. You set the mood and sneak around behind him. Put your holocline flashlight under your face and shout, "Boo!" He rolls his eyes. As long as I think about it, if there are any ghosts on this ship, one of them would be my mom. Oh yeah. I guess that would scare a normal person, but this still isn't afraid of anything. It's because he freely accepts death. Easily. Okay, so we're gonna get... I don't know if we're gonna get stressed out, but we should de-stress for sure. That is not where we de-stress. Fun fact. Their hop-eye shyly approaches you out of the tall grass. Your hop-eye goes totally still. Lets out a happy chitter and bounces off to greet the stranger. They touch noses, hop around each other twice. They disappear for a few minutes, long enough that you begin to get concerned. Finally, Mrs. Hoppington bounces back to you and nuzzles against your leg. They want to be picked up and cuddled, so you pop them underneath your shirt and carry them like a baby the rest of the way. That's adorable. Do I want to forget? Yes, we're all about the big numbers now. Relax in your corners with your dad when you hear the colony siren. The enemy is here. Oh, seems early this year. We should head to the shelter in the lounge. Been drilling on new evacuation procedures for the past month. There's no need to be a hero now that there are so many new soldiers from Helio. Probably best if you just follow instructions and head to the lounge with your dad. I've literally never done that. I cannot stop leaving, actually. Most of the rest of the defense force at the gates. Rhett and Lum are arguing about what tactics to employ. Lum keeps trying to rally the soldiers. The heartening speech about giving it everything got. All the drones, all explosives, and Rhett keeps cutting in. We don't need to take any big risks. It's a smaller attack and we have more than enough plas rifles and turrets. We should save our other resources for when we do need them. Why do things halfway? Lum explains. We need to get in there and kick their asses back to the goo they came from. Show people we have everything under control for morale. Rhett tries one more time to rest controlled forces, but Lump cuts him off. Fire the explosive rounds. Arm the charges. Shells scream through the permanent night, followed by explosions you feel vibrate up through your boots. Helios are unfazed, but even though their strato guards exchange nervous looks, you hear yelling and another boom as the secondary explosives detonate. The bang of bloodthirsty animals reaches your ears, and then... Great work. Just stragglers incoming. Open the gates. Mm-hmm. 4, 5, 6. Value is wild. What does that mean? I don't know. What? Wild card values match as all pairs or straights. On a faceless guy, you know? Like... Oh, they, like, it matches, so it counts as a 5 for this case. I get ya. I understand. I'm picking up what you're laying down. Sure. That'd be nice. I get the feeling it's not going to happen, though. You face off against... At least not yet. It feels like the game had a hard reset halfway through the game. Some kind of Finn semi-aquatic thing, already half dead, limping doggedly through the gates. It's almost comical how easy it is to stun and kill it. Time you're done, the other soldiers have dispatched the rest of the creatures. Smoke drifts in from the battlefield. An acrid scent of triumph. After the attack, Lum gathers everyone in the lounge, holds a big celebration for the soldiers. They're feasting and drinking in songs of valor, and as the party goes on long into the night, some drift away in pairs, or more. Mars and Rex keep the dancing going. Even Nem seems to relax, especially the other cadets invite her to drink with them. Tonight, everyone seems convinced this victory means the colony will be safe forever. Maybe it will be. You sure want to believe it, too. Not happening. What'd we get? We're friends. Yeah. Okay. Got lots of stuff there. Yeah, there's even... It's design... Oh, God, what is that? Just says game ends, but it's like a word. Oh, God. Oh... Well, I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be great. Yeah. Good stuff. Nice, Lonisai. You spot Cal heading towards the barns at the far end of the farms. What's going on? Oh, nothing. Just thinking about, well... Trails off and scuffs his foot in the dirt. I guess it's not like you can get me in trouble now, so yeah, I used to have a pet. She was like a little pink caterpillar. Called her Socks. She lived in a trunk in the storage barn. Nobody knew, but... He scrubs the back of his arm over his face. She didn't stay little forever. Eventually got big, like real big, and I couldn't figure out what to feed her, so she ran away. Just hope she's doing okay, wherever she is. Bruh, if that is the faceless that you just fed, I'm gonna poop my pants. And then lose my mind. I can finally help him with the animals. I've finally gotten enough animal stuff. Sitting on the fence overlooking the animal paddocks, chewing on a piece of grass. Oh, hey, Sugar Bean. Come take a look at the wild, dangerous aliens. Watch the float cows bob along peacefully. Every so often, one of them releases a jet of liquid and lifts up into the air. Dad laughs every time. Gross. I guess not much more weird than we used to drink milk from goats and cows. Helping an animal. Dad is helping two bristle slugs who've gotten tangled on each other a while. Well, maybe they're wrestling. Dad doesn't want to go into the details. He hefts up one larger one. You pull apart their bristling spikes, being careful not to get jammed yourself. 10 minutes later, they're back at it again. Your dad shrugs. The heart wants what it wants, I guess. We're at a planet queen mushroom, and they're just trying to get the queen back, and all the deaths are his fault. Oh, God. Don't start here. I can't deal with it. Get into a debate. I don't have any debating skills whatsoever, which is fun because my intelligence is great. Anything new on the foraging part? No. Incorrect. Alright, very depressing as always, this. Just absolutely turd out there, man. What's up, Slasai? Well, she did get approved for the squad. That's good. I got you some wood. Thanks. You're welcome. Tan just sitting outside the laboratory, her eyes closed and her head swaying to music only she can hear. You tap on her shoulder, she jumps. Oh! Somebody taking a mental break. My brain not being a hustle, but it does need to rest like one. Over here. Have some wood. Nice work. We move on. Is there anything else we can do here besides just relax? We can practice photophenor. But that's not really in our spec, so to speak. Well, it's hugging time. I'm just gonna, like, hug this guy every month. What you doing? Me? Just practicing drawing hands. It's really hard. All the tutorials say that everything is just made of shapes, but I don't get it. They extend their hand to you, fingers outstretched. How is this made up of a prism and 5 cylinders? It bends. True. Anyways. Talking about drawing hands. If she doesn't like this, I mean, it's too much. Here, have some wood. I know you like it, because you're a dog. I don't know where to go next. Maybe try to max out our noggin score. Max out our noggin score. Oh, we did get the repair robots, didn't we? You're honestly pumped for your first day in the robotics lab. There wasn't enough room on the Strato for a proper lab, so for most of your life you'll learn the bots the colony relies on. Like the watering bots and Harvest will eventually all break down for good. With a fully functioning robotics lab, you should be able to keep these bots active for a lot longer. Plus, there's all sorts of unused bots in here. Look around and wonder at the wide array of chassis and shells. Maybe one day you'll even be able to create new bots of your own. You can't wait to show off what you can do. Concord's so relieved to have an assistant. Since Hal died, well, Instance was too busy to help. Tangent sometimes lends a hand, literally, but seems more interested in her own projects. She says you're setting up. Chief Engineer seems to think they're a lost cause, that we should just recycle them. Congruence opines. I would never have thought they were trash. So what are you excited to work on, Slotusai? I want to build something massive. Oh no. Make me a body one day. Always wanted to be 10 feet tall. No. Continue, actually. I could do that for you. I would like to. I would like to do that. We're going to do it. Probably not. It's probably not building the game, but it's okay. Got to meet all the bots we're going to be working with. These broken, forgotten bots just need a little TLC. No one needs the learning channel. That'll just ruin the bots even more. Card becomes 3. Joke's on you. +1 for each other gem on the card. +1 blah 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 to challenges. For each other gem on the card. No, that always becomes 3. Okay, so do something like this, and that, and maybe like that, and like that, and like that, and we'll do that. Congruence best girl. Big Edie energy for the Mass Effect fans. Suns rise again after glow, heralding a new year. It's your 16th birthday. You wake up in your new quarters, blinking into the watery sunlight. Dust motes float through the air, and you take a moment to enjoy the perfection of your bed while you listen to the sounds of the colony waking up outside. So much has happened in 1 year. Just a few short months ago, you thought your life was over. Now it's better than ever. Is it? My mother's dead. There's plenty of food, and the colony is safe. And my best friend is very depressed and becoming kind of a military nut. Even have your own bedroom. Considering snoozing until your dad wakes up when your reverie is interrupted by someone banging on the door. It's them! She bounds into your room and wraps you in the biggest, rib-crackingest hug possible, lifting you off the ground. Happy birthday, friendo, she exclaims. Am I the first? I ran all the way here so I could be the first. Dad wakes up shortly after that. You order up your traditional birthday breakfast feast. Gives you a big squeezy hug and tells you he's proud of you. Thanks. Let's see. Got another stick for you. No, I can't give you another present. That's fair, actually. We do get bonuses to physical skills here, so maybe the toughness is hard, though. That one, bravery and toughness, works really well. Rhett interrupts your afternoon training to rest the group. Then perks up. This seems important. Since the original colony was destroyed, we needed every skilled security officer we could find to defend our home, and now with Lum's blessing, age is no longer a requirement. We're looking for young recruits to join the ranks of defense squads. Go pound sand, Warmonger. Soldiers, not... Yeah, I don't think I have what it takes, and also, I don't want to. Them step forward. For the rest of you, change your mind and want to join the real soldiers. You know where my office is. That's great. I'm going to be playing sports ball. We're explorers. We're not soldiers in this one. No. 3, 4, 5... 4, 8. Yeah, that was great. Bravery and toughness. Yes. I'll get one more month of that. Maybe go into animals. Animals also is a strength-based skill for reasons not completely sure. Working with the bristle slugs this week. There's a whole herd of the slug, seal, porcupine beasts lumbering through the fields and rubbing against their scratching posts. You walk right up to them and they don't mind at all. You empty the berry catching buckets and sort through the berries, picking out loose stones and planting any that have sprouted. Those ones will grow into bristle slugs too one day. It's not wet season where they're fully bristled and cranky about territory, so everyone's playing nice. It's a nice calm month of picking berries and scratching slugs. Come back from once one day to find the door to the pen wide open. Whoops! Must have forgotten to lock it. Good thing bristle slugs don't tend to roam. Do a head count. 17? It's gonna be short one bristle slug. Luckily, they're not very stealthy. There's a glistening slime trail leading toward the ruins of the stratosphere, decorated with little clusters of berries. Let's track it down. Easily find the bristle slug. It's gotten itself wedged between two panels, scritching back and forth on the most perfect scratching situation possible. You laugh and fill your shirt with the berries like a bowl, and gently nudge it back towards the herd. It's slow going, but eventually, everyone's back together again. Good work, Ranger. Zip, zoop, zop? 4. And then an 8 is there for reasons. Don't worry about it. Nice on the animals, and a little bit of the empathy, too. Oh god, look out. It's pollen season! This is gonna be me soon. Not looking forward to all the flowers and their armaments, their ordnance, just blasting into my face. Oh, it's gonna be bad. Yeah, very depressed, I know. Anything new? No, nothing new there. Here, I got you a flower. Do you like flowers? Kind of. Alright. Where's that doggone dog? I watched The Last of Us? Certainly have. Watched it and played it a long time ago. Oh my god, so long. Got another hug. Oh, Coach, I'm open. Dog, this is great. Find Rex playing cards by himself in the lounge with an actual physical deck of cards. He looks up as you approach and visibly brightens when he sees you, sitting up straight with his dog-like ears on alert. Well, hey, Solanasai, how's it hanging? You want to play a game with me? Duh. It's called Bottoms Up. We both play a card from our hand we think is lower than the one the other person is playing, and the person with the lowest card wins. If you win, you get the number of points that are on your card, plus you get to take the loser's card and add it to your hand. So you want to play a low card to win, but if you play your hard cards at the right time, you get a lot of points. It's a game of compromise. Used to play it all the time back on the Helio. But now everyone's here, you know, realizing their big dreams of being heroes and saving humanity, Rex says, rolling his eyes with a good-natured grin. I really enjoyed the show. I thought episode 3 was a standout, and I just thought both of the main leads were excellent. It was well done. I mean, it makes sense because the showrunner's from Chernobyl, which is another excellent miniseries from HBO. We could bet something more interesting. Like what? Have you ever kissed anyone before? Of course. Of course I have. This isn't a lie. I have. We should do that. Winner gets a kiss from loser. Wait, do we kiss no matter who wins? Don't give away my best trick. Fixes you with a flirtatious look. Sure. Hell yeah. Deal. The anticipation is the best part. Rex shuffles card and deals half the deck to each of you and begin to play the game. Quite honestly, this is me being a... I just didn't want to lose any of my money. Does this make me a reverse prostitute? Unsure. Best thing about this game is it's not very hard to play. Rex says, scooping up his winning cards. It's all about how well you know the other person. Well, we don't know each other very well yet, so what do you want to know about me? Made any friends? Oh yeah, of course. All adults are so much nicer than the ones I grew up with. I care so much about how and why they do stuff. I love being around them. Other teens, like, whoa, you guys are all so cool. And I mean, Tange are so passionate. Cal solid sweetheart. Mara's like a galactic level hottie. Wow. Well, this guy seems interesting too. Poor Dis. What do you do for fun? Talk to people, mostly. I like to see what everyone's doing. Help them with stuff if I can. Just really like being around other people. I like doing whatever they're doing. Oh, and cuddling, of course. I love cuddling and running and chasing stuff. That makes sense. Plans for the future? Oh, wow, big question. I don't know. I think if I stayed on the heliopods, probably would end up being a soldier like everyone else. But planet side? Do anything. I just like making things with my hands, and I like to make other people happy. Maybe I can do something like that. Do they just make this man half dog? Probably. Playing out the rest of your cards, staying fairly even in points till Rex left with only one card, and you have 2. You're trailing, but not by much. If you play your low card for an easy win, you gain enough points to make it a draw. If you gamble a slightly higher card in your hand, you might lose entirely, but you could win. I always gamble. It's even higher than mine. You win the game by a comfortable margin. Want to cash in that bet? Yes, please. Rex giggles and leads in, cupping your cheek and placing a little soft, thoughtful kiss on your lips. It doesn't last long, but you can tell. He's a great kisser. He smiles warmly as he pulls away. Thanks for playing with me. Maybe you can do it again sometime? Darn tootin' we can. I'm not going to stop until I've flirted with everybody on this planet. And that includes... No, it doesn't. Everyone except for you. What a disappointment. I would flirt with Dis over you. I'm sorry, Dis. You're great. Animals is... Yeah, let's get an animals perk. I think that'll help with our pets, probably. Float cow. They happily squeeze out great big helium farts so they can get down to the trunk. Great big helium farts. I think I've had some of those. Alright, that's 7, that's 6, that's 5, that's 4, that's 3. That's nutty. Yeah, that's easy peasy. You're woken by the buzzing of your holopalm. It's colony-wide alert. You rub your eyes and ponder the thickness of the air seeping into your bedroom through the open veranda door. It's an ominous but beautiful sight. The seasonal pale pink haze has turned to deep fuchsia, with scintillating silver sparkles flowing through it. The shimmer. Thankfully, you've all been inoculated against the shimmer because this looks like a bad year for the airborne spores. To be safe, you stay inside and seal your doors and windows tightly. Spend the time playing holo games with your dad. After a couple days, the pollen fog passes without incident. Okay, this was probably the year. So we weren't too desperate, but it could have been real bad. but it ain't. See, stuff like that makes me feel like we've actually done something. And then everyone dies anyways. And then I feel like I haven't. But sometimes I feel good. We got an extra gear slot, which means I can equip 2 pets. Is that correct? I totally could. +1 bonus to pairs and straights. The +5 in general is just good, but I want Vriki back in my party. Vriki's great. Alright, so that's pretty good. Bravery or empathy is kind of the next thingy magoob to do. Oh no, I've given you too many presents. What have I done? Anyways, here is a flower. Oh, you like yellow flowers. You're more beautiful than any flower. Please don't say that. Thank you for the flower. I can't be stopped. I'm an absolute monster. Here, have a flower. Here, have a flower. Just thank you. Except for you. You get a stick. That's sorry. It's just how it is. Do we try again for the planes, maybe? That gives us perception and animals. We already foraged in the valley and did a bunch of stuff. I say we survey the plains. Become the explorer. Oh, there's more people out here this time. That's neat. Utopia stops you in distance near the depot. Feel that? You can feel a kind of ominous distant thumping, pulsating regularly through the ground. If you stand still, you can feel it vibrate up into your whole body too, like a massive global pulse. I reckon it's naturally occurring, but it's giving me the willies all the same. You two better check it out. Why don't you stick together and take readings on the way in case it's dangerous? You can just look at each other, excited. You follow the thumping. Now an audible noise, growing louder, west, until you've roughly triangulated its position. You are getting close, but it sounds like it's coming from all around you, and your instruments aren't precise enough to help. What do you think it is? Aliens, he says seriously. Let's follow it, shall we? 2, 3, 4. Oh, that doesn't even work because it's okay. Well, it's 3, 4, 5 then. Wow, that cancels it out. That's wild. 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that doesn't... Right, because you... that's annoying. Oh well. 5, 5, 5, 4, which is really 5 again, and then 1, which doesn't actually change anything. There we go. You find a machine, an ancient broken down machine, like a small pyramid-shaped building made from some kind of dark stone or bone that almost looks like it grew that way. Except it isn't broken, just so very old and overgrown it looks more like a pile of rubble and roots than a building or engine or whatever it is. Still, a thumping noise comes from inside it. Vibrations are strong here, making your guts feel weird. You don't notice it at first, but there's a curious path on the ground moving away from the machine. The line half-meter wide where the dirt is a little more worn and bare, heads off in a straight line to the west, or coming from the west? Can animals have made this path, or the thumper itself? Let's analyze it. Definitely not natural. On some parts of the thumper you can see what might have been writing once, carved deep into the not-quite rock. Must be thousands of years old. Whatever part of it still works is deep down its core. There's a funny smell, too. Sweet, like something fermented. Pumps of air come from vents near the top and time to the thumping. You also note animals here are a lot more aggressive than usual. Even the insects buzz more annoyingly overhead. Scanners register higher levels of attack pheromones. Whatever's going on, the fauna don't like it either. Eventually you head back to share your findings with Utopia. Totally an alien civilization, Dis insists. I suppose, maybe. It looked ancient, right? Perhaps could have been another civ here long ago. We found other signs, but nothing active like this. Oh, we unlocked Survey the Ridge. Sick. New survey. Seems to be pointing west or receiving something. There's some right ugly ridge lines out there. Kept us from checking that direction, but we got gliders and motivation. That's half the battle. We'll open up the western wrestling ridges for surveyors, she says, and grins. Whew, say that 3 times fast. This is right. It's definitely aliens. Dis nods solemnly. You report for surveying duty, Nomi is here. It's their first day as a surveyor. They smile widely when they see you, smiling exuberantly. You two know each other already? I'll make this easier. Honestly, I'd like to keep an eye on Nomi while you're out there. I'm going to assign her to the same regions for the next little while. But just make sure they don't want her to nest slap batters, okay? Yay, hooray. Nomi cheers and gives you a high five. As Utopia explains to Nomi and some other new Helio surveyors about the surveying tools, Nomi starts to get bored and wanders a little ways from the group. This is not good. You see it happening, but are powerless to stop them from tripping and nearly landing in a nest of hot-eye eggs. They're just about to crash into the delicate spun glass cocoon when Utopia materializes, as if out of nowhere, and scruffs them back by the back of the collar. Nomi, pay attention. Nomi giggles like they don't even realize the danger of being stampeded by the upset hot-eyes beginning to gather around. Utopia ushers them back to the group before things can get trampoline. Nomi asks a million questions about the eggs. Are they edible? Do they have hard cells or soft? What are the cocoons made out of? This is what I ask about tacos. How long until they hatch? Utopia sighs. Just get out of here, you two, before the cute little varmints turn ugly. Alright. I guess I kind of want to just go back now and let's see if anything seems new-ish. Touch a random rock, repeat the pattern from the rock. That's how we learn about empathy. We've done this before. Okay, I mean, if it's the same stuff, we'll grab something, and then I feel like we'll just go back and then we'll survey the ridge. Something new. I wish we could, like, keep exploring but go elsewhere, you know? Yeah, go home. Don't want to stress myself out too much. Spent the month exploring. Still got the perception and the animals, though, so ain't all bad around here. Toughness 80 or greater. Our toughness is 53. Oof. Perhaps I was too quick to judge the soldiers. In the past, great scientific advances have been made in the service to the military. Ultrasounds, microwave oven, blood transfusions, even the internet, which was a precursor to holopomp connectivity. It'd be a way to work in tandem for the good of humanity. Yes, I agree. I don't know how I feel about the didgeridoo here, but let's go survey the ridge. Ooh, engineering. Very cool. The only way to the wrestling ridges is by glider, part vehicle, part kite, and all adrenaline. You land on the rocky, broken-up spine of the nearest ridge, nearly fall over when you look down at the plummeting slope into the basin below. You're a long way up. This and Utopia glide in beside you. Oof, handling that glider like a champ, Dis. You too, Slotisai. A lot more exciting than the swamps, right? Want you two to stick together out here? It's dangerous in those ancient Convergent Domain ruins. Convergent Domain ruins? You look around. Landscape is like nothing you've ever seen before. Dry, cracked soil gives way to steep cliffs. What little vegetation here is brittle and sharp. You can feel the dry air wick away the moisture in your lips. Wait, what the heck is that? Cute little nose doing on your cute little face! Topian narrows his eye and just stares you down. She breaks the new grin. I know you're playing that a lot of time. We ain't getting any special treatment from yours truly just for buttering me up. You have to pull your weight. Just like the rest of the surveyors here. Go on, kid. Try not to fall off a cliff. It was worth a shot. You're getting thirsty. You feel for your backup canteen, but it's missing. Somehow you lost it since you left this morning. You're all out of drinking water. Oh, that's great. That's very exciting. Suns are high and hot in the sky, making the ground waver with heat-haze mirages. Your mouth feels dry. So dry. Your head's starting to ache. You're pretty far from the outpost. Could make it back, but that'd be it for the expedition. You have to go home. Well, let's search for water, shall we? Do like a 4, 5, 6 kind of deal? Yeah. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't do that, can I? 3, 4, 5, 6. And then that's fine. No natural water around, but in your search, turn up your lost canteen. Wow, that was lucky. Cool. Oh, I didn't know that you're a sucker for heterochromia characters. Me too, that's why I love Max Scherzer so much. Flies here are awful. Come out in the heat of the day, buzz around you incessantly. They don't bite, but they seem to want something from you. Maybe this water or salt from your sweat. They aren't laying eggs. This calls the most annoying ones rod flies because they're like long, flexible sticks with a bunch of wings. They swarm in clouds around your face, no matter how hard you try to shoo them away. He says they remind him of Mars, but there are other ones too, like the one that's just a big eyeball with a couple pairs of little wings. Make a loud buzzing sound. They're always just out of reach when you try to swat them away. Today, your personal nemesis is one of these eye flies. There was a whole bunch of them earlier, but only one has persisted. It's been following you, staring at you all morning. You and Dis have been battling at it for over an hour, but it's a fast dodger. Dis finally gave up and just plods forward. He lands on his head, but he doesn't care. Swat it! Three, 4... See, this is fine. 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Move that and go there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Eyefly is the size of a human eyeball made of concentric rings of rainbow hues. You find yourself staring right back at it. You wonder if the rings have something to do with light refraction. You let it land on your arm. Then you strike! Got it. Squashed. 10 minutes later, there's a new fly following you. Come across a particularly flat area, a large field of obsidian. Well, obsidian's the only word you have for it, but you've never seen obsidian this bright. It's like rainbows trapped underneath its glossy black surface, like the entire ground here is polished opal. A field glints under the sun at certain angles, momentarily blinding you. It looks slippery and shiny. Find a patch that's a little different and take some readings. You confirm the material is not natural. It must have been created by the Convergent Domain, because it's the same stuff they made the Thumpers out of. Silica mixed with some trace organic elements. By looking at striations in the cliffs nearby, you determine that this entire region used to be covered in a thick sheet of this dark glass rock. Most places there is now a layer of soil over it, but if you dig down far enough, you probably find this layer everywhere, like the whole place has been glassed. I wonder there's so few plants here. Domain must have paved this area to discourage plant life from growing. I am I'm talking out of my butt at this point. All except for the crystals, which seem to sprout happily from the obsidian pavement. You're right, I should go home soon. And yet, nevertheless, he persisted. Curses. Maybe it'll de-stress me. Mirage illusion, huh? Makes it look like there's a pool of water on the ground, plants wave around it. It's just off. Alright, let's break through the illusion, shall we? 3, 3, 3. 3, 4, 5, 8. 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The faster you move, the faster the mirage disperses. You approach cautiously. As you do realize what's wrong about the mirage, it's impossible. Plants on the other side of the haze are different. Not only wibbly-wobbly from the layers of air, but bigger and older. It's a different time of day, evening, not morning. When you see him, it's you. Through the heat haze, you see yourself in the distance walking towards you. You move to the edge of the mirage and peek around it, but he isn't there. You only see him through the heat haze, like it's some kind of doorway or mirror. Let's just watch. You stare at the figure. You both slowly, carefully approach the mirage, and like mirror images, you both raise one arm and touch them together. One of you says something, but you can't hear. You only see their lips move. Is it important? A message from the other you? You're desperate to know. But the mirage fades. Huh. Interesting. I screwed up on the Vertumnalia festival, didn't I? Son of a gun. We were so close. It's okay. We shall rest, and then Vertumnalia festival shall be with us. You and Cal go for a walk with your hot by Mrs. Hoppington. Cal loves the little creature, and they love him right back. They must instinctively know that Cal is a safe person. You're so lucky to have a little friend. Get rid of that. It's Vertumnalia. Everyone's in high spirits as you decorate the colony square. The great tables are piled high with food, groaning under the weight of heaps of roasted and steamed vegetables, barbecued meat, stews, carafes, mulled cider, and cakes dripping with frosting and sugar bug syrup. Gather in the colony square for the usual speeches. Lum takes the stage fanfare plus. Hello, people are Vertumna. Happy Vertumnalia, he exclaims over the din. Takes a big theatrical breath. Do you smell that? Do you smell what the rock is cooking? That's the smell of victory. Humans have secured our hold on this planet, and now it's time to celebrate. Eat, drink, and be merry. The crowd cheers again. After the council members each give their annual reports, everyone starts cleaning the square to set up for the games of Vertumnalia. Feel the pulse of a new hollow message in your palm and open up to read. Happy Vertumnalia. There's a present for you on the table. My secret admirer. Wow, I have a secret admirer? You rush over to the feast table and spot a wrapped present in among the roast vegetables. It's a data band. You snap it on your wrist and boot it on your holopalm. It's full of your favorite songs, videos, shows, and games, a collection curated by someone who must really know you. Now you'll always have your media with you, even if the net goes down, including all your favorite episodes of The Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon. Nice. You search your holopalm for any hint as to who could have made it, but you can't find anything. You have to ask around. But later, the games are about to begin. You assemble with the other kids. We did trivia last year. It's time to do some Xeno wrangling. Oh, where's Cal? Oh, I don't care about Vase. I care about Nem. I've been training very hard. Can't go any harder than wrestling you, Vase says. And Nem goes red and punches him in the arm. Disgusting. The pair watching gasp as the animal is brought out from the pen. It's a Unisar, and a starving one from the looks at it. I don't like that. Full Unisaurs are docile creatures. Hungry Unisaurs are mindless rage machines. They eat like snakes, swallowing large prey whole and using their inner mouths to rip it up. This one is hungry enough to swallow you whole if it catches you. Luckily, this one looks so hungry, that's way unusual. To give competitors a chance. I don't like this. This feels bad. Card gets +3, huh? So like a 5... Actually, I think that works better, right? Because you get an extra point. Yeah. Jeez, 90. 90's a little much, don't you think? Alright. That works really well. It's not a great pull, but I mean, we need to use Tangent's focus there, so. All right. 5, 4, 3. Okay, like 1. No, 1 doesn't make sense. 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that really not enough? Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. What could we replace here? That would make this worth. There we go. Perfect. Last one, the Unisaur is relatively easy, but you end up running around forever trying not to get skewered by its horn. You have to yank hard on the rope to wear it down before you can even try to ride it. There are a few moments when you realize your life is in actual danger. This Unisaur is no joke. You end up wounding the Unisaur with your clumsy attempts to wrestle it, but you didn't want to die. What were you supposed to do? After the festivities, everyone descends on the feast. You heap your plate with more food than you could eat in 3 sittings. When all the food is gone, the sunset is broken in the heat of day, people break out their instruments. Everyone dances well into the night. Who's my secret admirer? That's what I want to know. You can't do that to me, game. And if it's Vase, I will lose my mind. Oh, I can ask everyone if they're my secret admirer. I mean, I assume it's like Tangent or Nem or Rex. I don't think it's Cal. I can always ask later if I have the guts. I don't think it would be Nomi. Mishes is one step closer to a 100% shiny evolution team. What one is it now? That sounded angrier than I wanted it to be. Okay, I think it's Tangent. That just seems very data-driven. Tangent continues to scrutinize her work, though the tips of her ears go pink. What? No, of course not. I would never. The whole idea of... I'm simply too busy to... It's okay, I won't tell. Tange nods, finally meaning you're good. I don't want to make a big deal about it. Let's go in for a smooch! Oh no! She took a step back. I have to get back to work. God of Vaporeon? Very nice. Here, have a flower. You're welcome. Is anyone else like... Let's see. Incoming hug. It's so easy to be friends with you, Rex. Because you are a personification of a dog. You guys don't have to worry with us around. It's super great we showed up when we did. Yeah. Anyways, here I have a cool flower. Oh, it's her birthday. Their birthday. I guess we'll go right back out and explore. We've got stress-free. Might as well do it, right? Vaporeon is very impressive. Vespiquen got 3 bloody shiny male Combies in a row. Yeah, that's the problem. I tried to do that with, what's the weird, strangely sexual lizard? Salazzle from Sun and Moon. Only the female evolves from Salandit. Yeah. And... Fun fact, I don't like looking up evolution methods, so I just leveled up my male Salandit to like level 50, and I gave up and I looked it up and I was furious, because it's just like, is it a female? Then no. Or otherwise no. Blocked by a field of snaking vines and brambles, they're flowering. Enormous happy blossoms swaying in the shimmering heat waves. You can push through them, but you haul upon beeps a warning. A radiation warning. These flowers are highly radioactive, far too radioactive for the mild shielding your suit provides. You might be able to pass through, if you don't mind feeling the effects of radiation sickness until you detox in a medbed. It doesn't kill you outright. It's unpredictable. Well, we'll take a sample, and then we're gonna turn around and do something else. It doesn't stress us out, though. We got a sample. All that to say, good luck, because I understand the struggle, for sure. Let's see what's here. Treated to a spectacular sight, an enormously long caterpillar dragon type of creature, way off in the distance. It's thousands of legs and kilometer of shimmering bodies snaking in and out of the haze at the bottom of the chasm. It's terrifying. It's like a train. Let's marvel at it. You're grateful it's a long way away. Can't imagine what would happen if one decided to head through the colony. Okay, why would we say that? Why would we say those words together in that combination? I don't like that. I don't like that much at all, actually. Sun goes behind a cloud and you feel light spattering of rain. It sizzles into the dry, hot ground around you, providing a little relief from the heat of the day. Then you realize you don't see a single cloud in the sky ahead of you, and it almost never rains in the western wrestling ridges. The plants here rely on nighttime dew for moisture. Let's look up. It's a herd of float cows bobbing overhead. Oh, they're peeing on me. Well... That wasn't rain at all. It was float cow piss. Try to dodge another shower, but it splatters down and you soaking your head and shoulders. Gross. There's the heat. Makes it evaporate quickly. Dang old pee. Oh, we found another thumper. Hollow pillar knocked over and lying on its side in the sand. It's absolutely massive. It stretches to your left and right, at least a kilometer in each direction, though at some point it's crumbled over. You could likely scale over it. Let's check it out. Just got another one? Oh my lord. This is making me never, ever wanting to do... like... anything shiny hunting. It just it's making me salty by like just osmosis. Two. There we go. I mean, it's definitely not the best, but it's good enough. This looks giddy as you follow the pillar to its base, a large pyramid almost entirely lost under the sand. You brush away some of the sand and find the pyramid is inscribed on all sides with pictures of, well, wormholes, you think. This pillar must have once stretched up into the sky. Maybe it was some kind of observatory or sacred building, or just a monument to the wormhole. Mysterious. I kind of want to do that, but I don't want to waste our stress right now, if that makes sense. Topia sent you and Dis to study one of the large crystal outcroppings up close. Can't get sense they're alive somehow. Tons of engineering. Oh yeah, we're living it up. We can get that last perk. Don't like that it mentions wormholes with endgame symbols is a wormhole. Yeah, me neither. I don't like it. Up close, scales, sense their life. Angular and hard to the touch, they have a sort of sponginess and warmth to them. It's a little disconcerting. Weird. Almost like they're breathing. Gross. 5, 6, 7. Next round. 7, 6. Something. Another 6. 3. Sure. That's good enough. 5, 6. 4, 3, 2. Oh, that's not what I thought was going to happen, but that works too. Perception. Few crystals that have grown under shaded outcroppings are less vibrant than the others. Kind of look like convergent domain tech, don't they? Like they're organic obsidian crystals. Let's block the sun. On a hunch, you cover one up with some ferns. After an hour, it stops vibrating. Something deep inside it has gone dormant. Crystal turns clear like the ones that were shadowed naturally. When you move the fronds, its color returns. Well, it's like photosynthesis, but it's not a plant, right? Let's try yanking it. Nope. Let's try breaking it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Boom. They exploded. You're thrown by the explosion. When the dust settles and you brush off the shards of warm crystal, you realize some of the nearby crystals have also exploded. Yes, I know Mike Horror's little network when I see one. They're alive like fungus, but also kind of artificial, like the convergent domains buildings. But they were used to harvest energy from sunlight, like living solar panels. I wonder if they've been growing wild this whole time, or if they still power something. Wait, are you okay, Solanasai? Yeah, it was an important scientific discovery. And now I'm tired, and I still didn't get everything I needed out of this place. But it was an important discovery. Keels over and dies. Alright. How are you? Oh, you are head over heels for Vase. That makes me want to date you just so that you don't have to date Vase. That sounds miserable. What happens when stress gets max? You just can't do anything that month. You need to de-stress. Am I not? Oh, I don't have any organizing. The kitchen, she announces in an artificially sweet voice, looking for someone to help with part-time cooking duties. Someone young, responsible, and organized. Someone who might have too much free time on their hands. Not me. If anyone changes their mind, I could use the help. Yeah, get rid of that. Late dust. We're probably going to go exploring again, because I like exploring. But that is a problem for future us. I think we've done good work. We've almost gone through 3 years this time, and we'll be back on... Well, we'll be back tomorrow with Ace Attorney. We're starting up the last case, but we'll be back on Monday with more Exocolonist. Exocolonist all week next week, and then there's a Friday stream next week as well. That'll be Resident Evil 4. The remake. So look forward to that. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you'd like to leave a follow, just come back or hang out any other time you want. It was great hanging with everybody, and I just hope you all enjoyed it. But until next time, doodles.